my friends? Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm author Joe Holt. This is Fireside Chats. It's a live podcast I do with a fireplace. And a guest. Today's special guest, a global partner on D-Live Project. What's up, man?
Hey, dude, how's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. Glad we finally got this thing figured out. We had the show for Monday, and both of us were like, "Yeah, life's got me tied up. I'm busy." So thanks for rescheduling with me so quickly.
No, I appreciate you letting me come on the show, dude, and asking. Like I said before, I've seen you do quite a few of these before, and it's freaking awesome that you asked me to come on, dude. I'm really excited.
I'm also exceptionally excited because something happened today in your stream I'm going to talk about. It's on the list. But we're going to start at the beginning. Question 1. I ask every guest, your name, what does it mean to you? How'd you come up with it?
Okay. So project originally started as Project GD. When I started streaming, it was basically Project Gaming Dad. So it's an abbreviation of Project Gaming Dad because, yeah, I am a young dad. And the reason why I came up with that name is because I started streaming to try and help combat the anxiety and also a lot of depression around young parents, like young dads, young fathers, and especially in the gaming industry as well. Like a lot of people suffer from anxiety and depression when they have children. And one thing I suffered with when my son was first born was that I attempted suicide because I felt like I couldn't be a good enough father for him. Sunk heavily into depression, which led to me separating, like his mother and myself separated, which, you know, it's made a massive difference. But yeah, so I started streaming with the idea of being sort of like an idea to try and help combat, you know, anxiety, depression, and stress around becoming a young parent, a young father, in the form of, originally I actually started as a blog. I actually started doing it as, it was called the gamingdadproject.com, and I started basically writing about top tips on how you can sort of multitask when looking after your child, doing the nighttime sessions, the night feeds, and also what it's like to actually still be a dad and still be a gamer as well. So that was kind of what the gist of the website was about when I started that about 3 years ago. And then I stumbled across streaming, and I thought, you know what, I actually probably will enjoy streaming more because I'm more of a visual person than I am any good at actually writing articles and things. So for me, kind of acting it out on camera and on a stream whilst playing a video game made things a lot easier, and then also led to it being a lot easier to watch for people as well. So the idea between my actual name project stemmed from Project GD, which was Project Gaming Dad, which stemmed from basically me becoming a young father.
So I've had a lot of streamers have issues, mental health issues, depression, social anxiety, very common amongst us. I also have them. I have 2 sons. I know exactly what you're talking about. So, you know, it is a real thing. But something you said, like, I'm an autistic person and I match patterns very quickly. And so you said something that actually triggered a thought in my head, which is, you said you started streaming to combat this mental health concerns, right? But I've heard some streamers, and especially content creators, not as much live streamers, say sometimes streaming can cause the same problems, the depression, because you get that high from streaming, right? Then you turn off the camera and it gets worse. So I'm wondering, have you run into that? How do you deal with that if you do? Because this is something we all struggle with. So I'm just
100%. Yeah, no, 100%. Like it's definitely something that I've come face to face with on many occasions. Monday, for example, I was streaming Monday, and there was a couple of little things that happened within me whilst I was streaming that kind of triggered, for me to have like a slight anxiety attack and feel very uncomfortable, and I had to end the stream there and then. Today, when I thought,
which is why we rescheduled the show, a big part of it.
Yeah, exactly,
Right.
exactly, and I
Which is
appreciate
fine.
you
And I
for
would
that
have
as well.
Yeah, and I wouldn't tell anybody that, right? I mean,
Mm.
I'm glad that you're willing to talk about it. I think it's important, but yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, again, this is one of the reasons why I started streaming in the first place, was to try and find a way, not so much to completely, eradicate anxiety, depression, and things dedicated around gaming, being a young parent and streaming, but to try and find a way to come up with a solution to help, get around it and feel comfortable when something does happen, that it's not the end of the world, and that just try and get through it as best as you can, to then when it comes to the next day, you got a clearer head, a clearer mind, and you're able to sort of
Sure.
carry on. And when you have these episodes or these spells and moments like I did on Monday, for example, when I woke up yesterday, I spoke with my girlfriend because she's also a streamer as well. I spoke with her and she said, I know exactly how it feels. I know exactly what you're going through. And we both just talked it out. And I mean, I've always been one of these, but I'm not like stone cold. I'm not like, this manly man where I don't talk about any emotion. But I've grown up where it's always been just get on with it.
Sorry, I just laughed because I thought you meant Stone Cold Steve Austin for a minute. I was like,
What?
most people aren't like Stone Cold. I get it. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I could say I'm being cheeky, but grow a beard, man. It helps.
Well, that's the thing, and
I'm
this is one of the reasons why I grew a mustache, was because
That's
I
not
was
a
focusing on
mustache.
no, but I was
That's not a mustache.
no
No,
beforehand. I had like a proper tash, man, and
no,
it
no,
was
I know,
grown
I
out.
know, I know.
I shaved it all off because I felt like I needed to just freshen up and change my face, and that was the best way. It was like, if you ever go for a breakup, and you're like, right, I'll go get a haircut. I
No,
hit the gym.
no. Let me tell you
You
something about
you
men.
never felt that?
Men
No.
grow beards. They
Well,
don't
that's the
cut
thing. I
them for
can't grow a
anyone.
beard, Joe. I can't grow a beard. It's so patchy.
Oh,
It's
okay.
so
Well, there's things
patchy.
you can. I
So
can. We'll talk off stream. I can help. I can help.
I can't grow a beard, man. I get like a patch here, in here, and it just looks horrendous. So I grow the mustache because I focus on the strengths of
Okay.
what do grow.
Actually, your mustache looks great. I've seen the pictures you have of it. You can, and that's the thing. You actually can get as much clout with a really good mustache as you can with a really good beard. So rock what you've got. But the facial
That's it,
hair,
man.
it does. I've never grown a beard before this year. It has given me confidence. I honestly think I look better with a beard
Yeah,
than without a beard, even with this like huge silver stripe down the middle. Um, I'm saying it adds confidence. People respect you more. Like in business dealings, I go meet people face to face, and they're like, "Oh shit, this guy's got a beard." Like,
it means business.
yeah, this is gonna be for real. All right,
Love
so
it.
before because we're gonna probably get delve back into that, and I appreciate that,
Yeah,
and I would even say, because I forget things, there when you feel bad like that, go outside, get some fresh air, talk to a friend, drink water, right? Hydrate, do things that literally physically help you feel better. Like don't just let it get worse, right? Don't ignore it. It's great to identify it, but then also take steps to feel better. And because I'm saying, because I know like there was a period in my life, actually, as a young father, now that I think about it, I hadn't really made that correlation until you said that, but I had blankets nailed over my windows so light couldn't get in. I worked at night. I shopped at night. Everything. I didn't see the sun for like 2 years. Like
yeah,
literally, I didn't. And that is very bad for you, right? Like you have to get outside. You have to get sunshine. You have to. Human beings are pack animals. We need people, right? So I'm a loner. A lot of us, streamers are, but I still interject myself into the world on a regular basis so that because you don't know if you're going crazy unless you're around other people,
yeah.
you're just you. And then you go and you hang out with everybody else and you're like, oh, I'm fine because that's crazy. You know what I mean? But maybe you are crazy. And like Jack Sparrow said, crazy people don't know they're crazy, right?
That's
So
it.
if you know you're crazy, you're not. Just just saying. Anyway, hopefully that helps.
It's true, man. It's 100% true. 100% true.
Second question. Because by the way, guys, there's only two questions. There's not like there's notes. I have notes, but there's two questions total. The second question is, when did you start streaming on any platform? and kind of why? Like what was the catalyst to get you to turn on the camera? And I know you've kind of covered that a little bit, with the name, explaining the name, but there's a difference between, because I was a blogger, I was a writer, all that. There was a much different thing to turn on the camera, right? And in my case, and I think in your case, like you said, better, right? We're more effective at this. So anyway, when did you start streaming and why?
So I started streaming in the February of, it must have, yeah, I think it was last year.
2018.
Yeah,
Okay.
2018, because I remember going to a gaming convention in the September of 2017, and I had met a few YouTubers and seen there was a section in the exhibition hall which was dedicated to the Dirty Purple. And I went over to it to have a look to see there was like green screen setup, there was station setup with the PC monitors and the webcams, the microphones. They had all the XLR microphones, the PCs with all the RGB lighting, the unicorn vomit.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
That stuff
I
drives
kind
me
of
crazy.
yeah, like so I was sat there and I just thought to myself, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go and be a bit like young, I'm gonna be proper nosy and go and have a look. And I went over and I started actually talking to somebody who was they were basically working for Twitch. They were part of the Twitch UK staff team. And I started talking to this guy, Brad his name was, and we were talking about how to get started, what sort of equipment you would need, um, how do you go about networking and starting in an industry that's very saturated at the moment
Mm.
and gaining traction and actually providing your own message, creating your own message to give to people for them to want to come to your stream and hang out and things like that. So we kind of stood there for about an hour and a half talking all things, streaming, the sort of games to play, how to interact with viewers, like, because I've never seen anything like it in my life. I've seen YouTube videos. I come across Twitch, but I never really looked at it. I just literally watched a couple of videos, live streams, but I never saw the chat feed. It was just the video of somebody streaming. So for me, it literally was completely alien and it was new. And I went home that weekend after the show and started doing more and more research into the equipment that I needed. And then because I was working full time for a Microsoft company selling ERP solutions at the time.
What is
I
that?
remember it.
What is
Um,
ERP?
it it's basically a solution that can, like, for example, like manufacturing or wholesales or warehouse work. It basically manages stock levels to then like distribution, manufacturing equipment to then ship that or for it to be sold on a website. It's just a whole solution that you can basically implement into like a website, a web browser, or something like that to then sell your products and things. So it
Mm-hmm.
kind of it was like a warehouse management solution. And I was up and down the country constantly selling that. And that's what sort of led me to really push to become a full-time broadcaster or streamer or content creator, because as much as I really enjoyed selling and doing that sort of stuff, it just drove me insane. I was never home. I was always up and down the country constantly. With a newborn as well, I was constantly up and down the country. I never really had time to spend with my family.
Mm-hmm.
So then sort of Christmas, we got Christmas out of the way. At this point, I was blogging a lot. So I was writing articles on how to be a gaming dad. I was looking at, and I tried to make my articles bite size, so you could sit and scroll. My website was mobile optimized when it was active and it was hosted, and I was trying to create bite size articles that would fit within the remit of SEO and all the keywords and rankings and all that sort of stuff. But it was dedicated and focused around what you can do to manage your lifestyle of being a gamer, but then also be the very best version of you being a dad. And
That's
yeah, so
that's freaking amazing. Let me just say, like, there's a lot of those people, right? Young fathers that are gamers, especially
yeah.
right now. It's a really good point, because I've had guests on the show that have kids, that have twins, that have, young ones, and they've all said that flat out. Like, if you don't pay attention to your wife or significant other or roommate or kids or people in your life, in your house, You're just trying to
Yeah,
game, you're just streaming. Your world's going to fall apart and you're not going to be able to continue streaming or gaming, right? You
exactly. And
have to
that's
maintain
exactly it.
that. So how, like, how did you find the balance? Like, what kind of tips did you learn? I mean, this is probably all like learn as you go, right? And then you're sharing
Yeah.
what's working for you.
It literally was. And when I first started streaming, so in the January, I done a lot of research and I then looked at what I can purchase um to get started. So I bought my first PC from a chap on Facebook. He was selling it secondhand, and he was a very intensive smoker. He smoked a hell of a lot, and you could tell because as soon as I got the PC rig, I had to spend at least a week taking the thing apart and cleaning it properly with all the right
Uh,
equipment and everything. It was crazy. It was crazy how I needed to clean this thing from top to bottom, inside out. And yeah, and then that's when both myself and Eli's my son, and his mum, that's when I said to her, I said, look, I want to give this a go. I think I can really make an impact and help people to try and overcome any sort of doubt or negativity around being a young father through the course of gaming and streaming. Because if they can see
hmm.
that I can do it as a parent and still
Okay.
have a real healthy lifestyle outside of that, what can I then do to help them do the same, you know?
So I'm just trying to make sure I'm hearing this correctly. So you're saying it's not so much people that are gamers that are now fathers that need help. It's like I'm a young father and I need help, and gaming and streaming can do that. Is that right?
For me personally, I mean, it's down to each. Obviously, I can't speak for every single male or female gamer on the planet,
Oh,
but for
right.
me
But I mean
personally,
you. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, for me personally, like, I mean, I used to gym. I loved going to the gym. I found that was a really good outsource for me to feel better and have that whenever I felt stressed or like my anxiety was kicking off, I would go to the gym. And then because time became very minimal with having a child, I am working a lot. I
Yeah.
thought, you know what, I'm already at home, I don't need to go out, and if anything happens with my son, I'm in the house, I'm already there. I can just get up and go and help him or change him or feed him, or if he's crying, I can pick him up and sit and chill with him and rock him back to sleep, and he can even sleep on me and I can still chill and have a game.
Hmm.
And so for me personally, gaming was an outlet that I didn't rely heavily on, but it did help aid me to
Hmm.
overcome a lot of things that I struggled with.
Well, the reason I'm
Um,
trying to make the distinction is because I remember living a. I'm not going to give enough details to oust this person, but I remember living above a young couple not so long ago that had a young baby, and the before the baby was born,
yeah.
the guy in the relationship literally gamed so much that he looked like a skeleton. He didn't eat, he didn't sleep, he worked like a dog. This guy worked, he was in a furniture moving business, right? So he moves
Okay.
furniture all day, plays games all night, doesn't sleep, doesn't eat, goes back, works again. And I saw him get worse and worse and worse. Then when they had the baby, there was it was amazing because you would think, uh-oh, he's not going to be a good father. It gave him purpose. It gave him light and energy and love and like this something bigger than himself, and drew him back to life. And he looks better now and is doing better now than he's ever done, right? But he's still a gamer, but it's not like an obsessive like took over my life thing anymore, which
Yeah.
I think happens to a lot of guys. Not just, I think guys more than ladies, obviously anybody's subject to this, but young men, it seems like there's a big demographic of us that have like I got stuck in World of Warcraft for 10 years. I got stuck in EverQuest for 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost got divorced over it. Like while I was in the military, that's, you know. So I think
Yes,
it's
it's very intense, especially with those kinds of games as well, where they're
yeah.
just forever ongoing. and hours just fly by, and it just you don't even realize. You don't even
Years.
realize. Yeah, well, yeah, in your case, years. Like for most
Years
people, I can
fly by.
imagine years. Yeah, and you don't even realize, and you can't really even recall any information from that time because you're just engrossed in this one game. But that's the thing. It's having a healthy balance. A healthy balance is key. So when Eli was first born and I started streaming, um, so Eli was about a year old, or 10 months old when I started, 11 months old when I started. So my first stream, it was a month before he was one.
How
So
old
I'm
is he?
still
For reference, how old is he now?
he'll be 3 in March next year. So 2020 he's going to be 3. So he's around 20. I can't even think in months,
Dude,
but
okay,
he's
you're
like two and
talking,
a half,
hold
two
on.
and a half.
You're talking in dad talk. Next year, he's going to be a different age. Yeah, I know. I'd like to know how old he is now.
He's
He's two.
2 years.
Two,
Well,
two,
he's 2.
stop,
Yeah, he's
stop
2.
there. Okay, yeah.
He's 2.
Dude, let me say, okay, hold on.
Before we get politically correct about this, he's 2 years old.
I'm a grandfather, so I can talk about this. Listen,
Yeah.
you young parents are driving people nuts with counting money. He's 11 and a half months. He's
It's
23 and 6 quarters. No, he's a year and
no,
a
I know.
half. He's
But
2.
when
And after 2, he's just 3, 4, 5. He's not,
yeah, no, I get that. But the thing is I asked this question, so it's funny you should say that because I actually asked this question to the midwife when we were getting checkups done because he was very poorly when he was first born, and his mum had to. We got rushed into hospital a couple of times because she was very ill, and I don't even know how I got onto the question, but I actually asked about why them, measured in months, and it's down to cognitive development and how they can basically put children into categories of their development at what month age they are, if that makes
listen,
sense.
listen, man. Most of your friends aren't doctors, so you don't have to talk to them like that.
And well, that's the thing. So for me, when I talk about it, because I've been in and around it, like when I get nursery and stuff like that, I look at it and I think he's 2, he's 2.5, he's going to be 3 next year. He's 3 in March.
See, you're
I
already
usually just
doing
say
it. You're
that.
already doing it. Nope, stop. Just stop. How old? 2. See how
All right,
easy that is?
he's 2.
You
He's
don't
2.
even have to
He's
go
2
into
years old.
like a paragraph. Like, how old? 2. Oh,
He's 2
okay.
years old.
How old are you? If you don't mind me asking, because you're saying I'm asking you. How old are you?
I'm 27 years old and
Okay.
4 months and 8 days.
Well, because
I'm
I'm
27. I'm
gonna
27.
I'm gonna not continue to troll you. Although it's hard. It's. I'm 41 years old. That's how old I am. All right. I was
Okay.
asking. The
Okay.
reason I'm asking is because you're saying young father. Well, what's that mean? I had my son, my first son, at 21 years old,
Okay.
and my second son a couple years after that. That's young. I was young. I wasn't
Yeah.
ready. Right. My son just had a son or a daughter. I'm sorry. That's too many sons. My son just had a daughter at 19. Right. And
Yep.
it's that's young. That's also too young.
Yeah.
But what
Because
like
my dad was 19 when he had me.
right? So it's a very interesting. My mom was 17, I think, when she had me, or
Yeah.
18, just turned 18. So the question, how young is too young? Well, it used to be much younger, right? Like we're talking in civilizations past, they would start having kids in the middle teenage years because you died at 30 or you died at 40, right? Now that we're living to 70s, 80s average, having a kid at 18, 19, 20 seems very young and is very impossible, right? Like
Yeah.
your cognitive functioning doesn't fully develop until what, like 25, I think, 23,
Hmm.
25 years old. So it's like kids raising kids is the
Yeah.
and we needed help. We needed help back then. 20 years ago, I needed that help and it wasn't available. And I actually had a mental break. Like I ended up in a psychiatric hospital and took a couple weeks off because the stress was so much of trying to get out of the military. I was disabled, right? I'm trying to get divorced. I'm trying to
Yeah.
take care of my son. I'm trying to work. I'm trying to get a new house. and I literally broke. Just
Jeez, man.
couldn't keep going, right? So when you say this is a problem, yeah, I know, man. And what's amazing is you instead of like being consumed by it, were like, actually, I'm figuring some stuff out and I think I could help other people. Like that alone tells me everything I need to know about you as a person. So, hey guys, we're just gonna wrap this up. That was great. This is the shortest fireside chat ever. He's awesome. That's it. We're done.
Not at all, man. Not at all. Like
All right.
that's
Thanks for
the thing
coming.
is.
Who are we gonna host? No, just kidding.
I didn't. Can I eat my wings now?
Yeah, yeah. Finish your dinner,
but
guy.
but that's the thing. Like when I didn't. It wasn't easy for me to get to that position. It wasn't easy. I attempted suicide for when my son was born because I felt like I couldn't be the father he deserved. I looked at how my dad raised me, and he worked 24/7.
Now, just to talk,
And
you've said that a few times, and I just want to say, number one, I'm glad you're still here, right? This tattoo, IGY6, is a thing we do here in the United States among first responders, but it's I've got your back, I've got your six, right? Like you being
yeah,
able to talk about that is huge. But let me tell you, and anybody listening who's struggling like that, any father, to being alive is better than not in terms of how much you can help your kids, right? Like I'm just saying, don't like if you're a new father or new mother, new parent, and you're overwhelmed by it, trust me, you killing yourself is definitely not going to help at all. Not you, not your family, not your kids, not anybody that loves you or cares about you, right? Like that pain sucks, and when you're in it, you don't know what to do about it. I've been there. I'm getting a little choked up because I've had friends kill themselves. My son, my 16-year-old son, his best friend killed himself last year at 15
yeah,
because they were overwhelmed by a girlfriend. The
yeah,
sweetest, kindest, nicest kid you've ever met in your life, and he's gone overnight because he didn't know how to talk to his friends about what he was going through, right? So like
yeah.
I've never stopped a show to talk about that, but suicide awareness is huge. And it's
Massive.
it's not the answer. It's not going to help. You don't feel well because of the situation, and you can change the situation. So
That's it, and that's what it's about. Just finding a way to change it, and that's one thing because I felt like I was alone. I felt like I couldn't. I wasn't. That's the thing. But in my head, I managed to talk myself into thinking that there's no way that I can get out of this.
oh,
This is
you
it. I'm here.
definitely when I was suicidal, it felt like a logical response. Well, I mean, obviously, killing myself would be the best thing. Like, I don't remember being
Yeah.
sad or scared or
No.
feeling weird. Like, I was just like, yeah, that seems to make sense. Let me
Yeah.
show you again. I see a question in the chat. So, the semicolon, I'm an author, writer. It's not my idea, but I can explain that. It denotes a stop and a pause. Like, commas are like, and this. This means stop. This is a completely separate thing and it's important, and pay attention. That's that's what this means. So it's to say it's a serious thing. You need to stop and pay attention. IGY6 is I've got your six, which is a way to say I've got your back. I love you. I'll tell you this. I saw another streamer here on D Live back in summertime who had this tattoo on his arm, which means he's probably a first responder, military, some firefighter, policeman, right? And he looked like shit. He looked depressed. He got worse and worse and worse over a period of months. We've been talking. He's like, think his relationship wasn't going well, work wasn't going well, and I could tell this guy by looking at him on camera, he was getting suicidal. At least I felt like that. And
Yeah.
so I reached out to him, and I didn't ask him if he was getting suicidal because that could put that idea into his head when it wasn't there before, right? I just said, dude, you're not doing well. I can tell you're not doing well. Why don't you come to my house? Come to the lake, spend a week. I live on a lake in a national park. Come spend a week at the lake. right? And obviously be careful about inviting people to your home, right? But I'm a military guy. He's a military guy. He's from Tennessee. I just left Tennessee. Like there was a lot, so I felt safe. He came and spent a week at my house. When he got here, he hugged me like a better hug than I've had in a decade. People that know me or don't. This guy bear hugged me and it changed his life because one random person on the internet reached out to him and said, I can tell you need help and I can help.
And that's all it takes. That's all it takes. Like, nothing as intense as that, but there's actually, when I first started streaming on Twitch, and I kind of got into a snowball, and it kind of grew quicker than what I expected, and people come into the stream. Obviously Fortnite was the rage then, so I was playing Fortnite, and a young girl came into the stream, and she used to get heavily bullied at school. She was just finishing school, or just starting college. She was getting heavily bullied, and she would watch because of the time I would stream in the evenings. So I would finish work, come home, do my dad duties, have dinner with the family, put Eli to bed, bath him and put him to bed. I would then have set nights through the week where I would fire up the stream. So Eli's mum would be happy to chill in the living room because my setup was in the bedroom. It was in the bedroom, out the way, tucked out the way, in the corner, soundproof. So I'd literally chuck some bits up to try and, capture the sound so it didn't echo around the flat, the apartment. And yeah, this young girl would come into the stream, and because of how I was on camera, and she could see my energy that I would input to try and just being me, by being positive and having a positive outlook on sort of as many situations as I possibly can in the best possible way, it rubbed off on her. And I actually went to a gaming convention last year with Sin, actually, just Sin, who's in the chat. Went to a gaming convention with him and another friend of ours, and met her there. She drove down with her dad on her own it was about a 4-hour drive away, left ridiculously early in the morning to come to the show to personally meet me, to basically give me a card that she had wrote out, which was full of just the actual writing itself was smudged. She wrote it in pen and it was just completely smudged because she was crying as she wrote the card out. And in the card, just from her watching my stream, it stopped her from committing suicide. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it stopped her from committing. And ever since, I keep everything. Anything that anyone gets me, anything or anything like that, I keep it. I've got like a memento box, like a proper box that I keep all this stuff in. And it wasn't until that day, and that was 6 months after I started streaming, and it wasn't until that day when I met her that I realized how much of an impact I was actually making just by going live.
Yep. Yeah.
And I've carried that through every stream. I'll stop. And if I have moments where I think, do you know what, I can't do this anymore, or things aren't working out the way they are, or I have those moments of doubt and anxiety where I think no one's going to come into the stream, I stop and I have a little think to myself, why? Why do I do it?
Mm-hmm.
And it goes back to that moment every single time. And like, for example, when I met Sin, now Sin's been through a hell of a lot in his life, and seeing him come on leaps and bounds and how he's changed from streaming and how it's helped him. And it really does put into perspective. Some people don't get it. They look at it and think, oh, all you're doing is playing a video game and people are watching. How weird is that? Because all they see is what they see. They don't look past it. They don't look on the outside of it. They don't look at how sometimes in this digital age, sometimes just watching somebody having a good time, enjoying themselves playing a video game that you have a common interest in.
You're hanging out with friends.
Exactly. And this is one of the reasons why I love playing Fortnite. So many people slay it, but I love it because it's not about the winning. It's about getting as many people into the lobby as possible and going out there and just everybody having a laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cross-platform. And that's, again, streaming. Thanks to what I've been doing with streaming.
Speaking of having a laugh, I'm going to share this sticker with them.
Mate, it just fits so well. It fits so well.
He said,
That's
I was in Project Stream earlier today, and he's like, he wanted to feel more confident. And I was like, well, shit, I can help with that. And I put my beard over his. That's such a ridiculous sticker. I love it.
but it fits so well. It scares me how good it looks.
It's so funny. Like this
With the
one, I
beard.
actually tried a little bit of editing, which I don't do
Yeah.
ever. Because it's kind of funny, right? To just put, like, clearly you just pasted your beard over somebody else's face, and that's kind of the funny part. But it illustrates what you're saying. We don't just stream. We're help. Yeah, I can tell you for a fact, I have major depressive disorder. I had it when I
Mm.
was younger, but I've also had some like major traumatic brain injuries that affected my speech, walking, everything. I get worse depression now because of the brain damage they're telling me.
Yeah.
So I have to actively pursue ways to feel good. I have to eat well. I have to hydrate well. But more
Yeah.
importantly, I think my mental health. D Live has helped me in real ways with my mental health.
Yeah.
In real ways.
It's crazy. Like, so this is a little bit of a touchy subject for me, because I started on D Live in February. I started watching D Live at the end of December, so sort of beginning of January into the new year. I done my last stream on Twitch on New Year's Eve, a New Year stream. I met my girlfriend, so Miss MDK, who also now streams on D Live. Shameless plug, I know. I'm sorry, but
Actually, put her
she's
link in chat because I heard you guys talk about her a few times and I hadn't been able to figure it out.
yeah, she's literally my, like.
I like
If
to
it wasn't
support
for
it.
her,
I like to
if it
support all of
wasn't,
us. You know what I mean? The whole group. But sorry, I
yeah,
didn't mean to interrupt. There's just a slight
no,
delay
no,
for
no,
some reason.
it's cool, it's cool. But I mean, I met her last year on Instagram, and we started chatting. And she's a streamer as well, which I met on Instagram. We started talking, and she's been there for me ever since. And we both, just from that day in end of August when we started talking, we just haven't stopped since, and we've just been together for nearly a year now. Like officially announced, nearly a year. But she come across the D Live just after I flew out to visit her in March. For the first time, we met for the first time ever in March. And just after June, I think it was, I had a serious moment where I felt like my life was crashing down because things started to go bad at home for me. My relationship with my ex was very triggering and difficult. I felt like the world was against me a little bit, but it wasn't because it was. I had a run of bad luck with a couple of things, but it hit me and impacted me so hard that I felt like my whole life, like it just felt like the world was against me because of how I just concocted this idea in my own head. And I basically went and stayed in a hotel one night, and I was ready to go.
Mhm.
I bought a bottle of whiskey. I sat there. I was drinking. I blocked everybody. I blocked her number so she couldn't contact me. She's halfway across the world. She lives in Brisbane, Australia. I live in the UK. She's 16,852 kilometers away. And our only form of contact was an application on our phones, and I completely blocked her off everything, so she couldn't talk to me. And a friend of mine tried to talk to me. As soon as the messages would come up, I blocked them. I just deleted it, blocked it. I didn't talk to no one. I didn't want to talk to anybody. And I sat in, it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was there with the bottle in my hand, and I just drank and drank and drank. I was throwing up everywhere, literally, in this hotel in town. I was throwing up everywhere. And I thought that was it. I said, this is it. I gotta go. I'm done. I can't do this shit anymore. And she somehow managed to, the one application I didn't block her on, which was Discord, she called me, and I was sat in the bathtub. I run the bath and I was fully dressed. I just sat in the bathtub, and she called me and said, what's going on? And she said, I'm here. And it was at that moment that I realized that no matter what happens in life, you can have people around you that can help you, but sometimes you just need to have your own back to be able to do something. But then at the same time, it's okay to lean on someone to give you the urge to get up and get going.
Yeah, for sure.
And if it wasn't for her contacting me via Discord, like I know we said the other night, like obviously some people can really find peace within themselves, that they don't need anybody. But at that moment in time, if she didn't contact me on Discord, I probably wouldn't be sat here now.
Well, but that's a learned behavior, by the way, because I used to be incredibly suicidal. And I am
Yeah.
now a person. I taught you a breathing technique a couple days ago, right? Like
literally a couple of days ago, and I'm
yeah,
sat here thinking like it's some next level, like
right. And but my point is, there's ways to manipulate the human body, right?
yeah,
And that's what you can very quickly, and I don't mean with drugs or anything. I mean like
no,
in very natural ways to bring about a more positive chemical balance in your body, right? Like I'm an autistic person, right? I have Asperger's. I am an electrical engineer by trade, built helicopters, right? So I was obsessed with energy and magnetism and what powers things. Well, the human body is affected that by electricity and magnetism. Period.
yeah,
So if you understand that and you understand how the brain energy moves, how the nerves move, how the heart, right? All of this is combined is affected by your surroundings, your electromagnetic surroundings, and very much by what you ingest into your body, because that is electric and magnetic, right? And that will affect you. So if you put in dead food, right, like processed foods,
yeah,
you're gonna not feel well. A lot of your mood and a lot of your your body's ability to fight infection and things like that, that's in your stomach, and that's
yeah,
based on how you feed yourself, so there's things we can do to help. But I just want to interject that. But what you're it's I don't know how many people know this. I don't even know if I've told you, Project, but obviously my girlfriend. We've been talking about my girlfriend the
yeah,
last couple of days, but I met her on D Live.
yeah,
And we met. She streams with her band, and I'm a live streamer, so we both got to see each other in that way. But our relationship, we started. It's funny. We started using Discord, and then we started talking on the phone. And since she's been to visit me, and we're it's been great. Um, but having that, most of this year that her and I have been dating, it wasn't physical. We'd never met. We'd never been in the same room, right? So it was just that
yeah,
emotional support, like, hey, good morning. Hey, good evening. Or how was your day? It was good. It was bad. And this is why. Like, having that person to share that with is nice. And it doesn't matter if you're dating them or not. It's a kid, it's a parent, it's a neighbor. Like, have somebody you can talk to like that. Because
yeah,
what she did for you, I would do that for any of my friends. You know what I mean? And
and
I've
that's
had
it.
some of my friends do that for me, for a
Yeah,
fact. And
and
that's so to make it about D Live a little bit, that's available on D Live. This community loves each other. This community supports each other in real ways. Like you and I both, it's literally changed our lives with who we're dating. But I've changed streamers' lives. They've changed my lives, and I mean in real ways that have nothing to do with D Live or being online, right?
yeah, 100%, 100%, and that's again, and this is what stems now onto the next part. Like for me, so I streamed on Twitch for the best part of last year, and I felt like I was just going. I had the opportunity to go partner. I was there. I was ready. It was good to go. And last July, my nan died whilst I was on stream. So I was live streaming Call of Duty, and no, I was playing Fortnite actually. I was co-streaming with a mate. He wanted to experience what it was like streaming, and he come into where I was streaming and chill with me, and we both started playing Fortnite. My dad came in, and no, he rang me on the phone. Sorry, and just come in and said, "James, just to let you know, I've just had a phone call from your mum at the hospital. She can't get through to you for some reason. She's tried calling you. Your nan's dead. She's died." I was very close to my nan, very, very close. And last year I took a massive hit. Like, yeah, it was mad. And
I took a break from streaming, so I went from being in a position where I was ready to go, like, get like partnered, like ready to apply, to then being in a position where I'm like, shit, I can't even. And then MDK come along, and she commented on my Instagram. We started talking. She got me back into streaming on Twitch again. She was like, right, just get back into it, get doing it. You know, you can do this. You're such an influential person, and you're positive and upbeat and outgoing. You're gonna, you know, keep bringing that energy to people. And I started streaming on Twitch again, and I felt that I just wasn't reaching my message across very well. Yeah, all right, the channel was kind of dead after me being away for so long. Got to the end of the year, and I was streaming with a chap that heard about DLive, and he mentioned it whilst he was playing. We were playing some Overwatch together, and I thought, you know what? Let's go and check it out, and I did. And from the first week of me checking out DLive, I've not been back on Twitch since.
I haven't either.
Like, and it's as simple as that. I haven't been on Twitch since. I popped on occasionally, like a couple of times within this year, just to support a couple of people that have been on there. And I thought I'd be, you know, I was intrigued to go and have a look to see what was happening, because they'd done a few updates and changes. So I thought I'd go onto the platform, have a look. But when it stems down to it, when I started my first ever stream on DLive, a few people came across from Twitch. They come to watch me on DLive, and they come to check out DLive. I had no reason to go back. There was nothing there that enticed me to say, do you know what, actually, I need to get back. I need to go back home now. I literally had set up shop and made everything work here. I started from scratch. So everything that I have now from the support of everybody here has been literally from scratch. So from the 17th of February, I basically started my whole stream journey again.
And you've already reached the highest level possible on DLive currently, which is global partner. I just want to interject that.
The way I see it, it's just like a label for them. For me personally.
No, it is. But because I'm not saying that, remember, I'm autistic, so I don't communicate emotionally. I communicate with
by
information,
facts.
Right? So you've like, hey, yeah, I just started over. Well, it's working. My point is, if you're, you know, given the measurements we've been given, which is, you know, the different levels, you're at the top already.
I guess so.
No, you don't have to guess. It's a definitive statement. You're a global partner.
That's it. And again, I feel I wouldn't personally be where I am now if it wasn't for me interacting and meeting the people that I have done on DLive. My original family from Twitch and the friends that I've made, like Sin, Zoe, Drax, Miss MDK, Silly Phil, Gwilym, JP, he's a chap that he's a mod in my channel, and various others that also come across to DLive to support me. Like just Sin, for example, still like he's on Twitch, but he will, no matter what, he's there every stream for me on DLive without fail. At some point, maybe not the beginning, maybe not all the way through, but he will be there at some point. And you know, I literally, my head cannot comprehend how awesome these people are. And then, not to mention, like off the back of that, coming to DLive, I've then met a furthermore group of people that have a similar mindset to myself, that just want to help and support people. So then you look at the Lino, or Lemons now, should we say, and how easy it is to sit and literally, you know, that.
Right? Yeah.
To support, to help people. Some people, they're in it for the money. Okay, if they're being honest with themselves and they're doing it, fair play. You support them how you want to support them. But it's so easy.
Yeah, let's actually... Now, this is a pretty... I don't do this ever, okay? But this has been a pretty unorthodox show. So I'm going to replace your face with your face. And I'm going to play a clip from earlier today.
See if I can... Let me try and do the goat.
You tell me what you think about this, because this just happened.
So this is going to be the goat. If I
if Rect does a jet, I'll get like a little stickman goat chewing on some grass. I don't even know what a goat looks like. Well, I do, but I don't. Let me get the goat up.
Did you just say, let me get the goat up? That's
drawing.
Strange.
Stickman goat drawing.
Here you go, you absolute.
And there it is. The ninja. So, so I just want to say, and there's more to that. But I just want to say, like, I'm in your chat, and you say, well, if you donate a ninjet, I'll get a goat tattooed right here. And that's $120, guys. That's over 100 pounds. And somebody in his chat was like, put up or shut up, and dropped $120 donation. Actually, more, right? More before, more after. But so he said live on stream, we recorded it. If you donate, I will get a goat tattoo. Now, somehow I got goat wrangled into this.
You literally have been like pulled into this perfectly.
Which is, I'm an author. See all these, all these tattoos I have. I've drawn most of them. So I drew half. My tattoo artist did the other half. I'm going to draw the goat tattoo for Project that he's gonna get this week, right? You're gonna get this tattoo.
Wait, I'm gonna contact them to get booked in to see how quickly. This is why I want it to be like a stickman drawing, so then I'm able to just
quick.
Get booked in. It will take literally like half an hour for them to just prep the equipment and then just quickly stencil it on and do it.
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm gonna draw something a little bit different than what you initially thought, because I think the D-Live face mask needs to be on the goat. I think there needs to be a D-Live element to this goat tattoo, because it was made possible 100% by your viewers and the community, right? D-Live, the fact that this is available, the fact we can just give each other like $100 because it's funny. And now you have to get a goat tattoo?
Like, I'm fully committed.
I know.
I've got ink. I'm not. That doesn't bother me. What got me in the feels was the backstory behind why it was a goat in the first place. Specific person was because basically I done an IRL stream not long ago where I actually went up, and it is in my clips. I went up to a hill area where I live. It's called the White Horse, and I went up there. It's a big hill, and it's got a giant concrete white horse embedded, like it's white stone embedded into the side of this hill. And basically the joke was, if you can catch me a goat, I will donate a ninja. I attempted, there was no goats there, but there were a flock of sheep. It must have been about 30.
This sounds illegal, but carry on.
Around 30. No, but it's a public walking area. You can go up there and walk around.
Yeah, but you can't harass the local wildlife.
No, I wasn't harassing the local wildlife. They harassed me. They came to me because I had pretzels, okay? Let's just get one thing straight. I was there chilling with my pretzels. I was not coaxing these sheep to come towards me at any point.
Oh,
You'll see in the clips. There was at no point me offering these sheep any pretzels at all.
Okay.
Hands down. Okay. Not at all.
Okay.
I didn't try running at them to try and tackle one to the ground either. I didn't actually try to tackle them down to the ground, but in my defense, they run bloody quick.
and have horns and stuff, right?
No. These sheep don't. They don't have horns. We're safe on that front. I wasn't gonna. There was at no point. I'll probably get a headbutt or a kick, but I won't ever get impaled. We're all good. We're all good. But anyway, so this literally is the outline story of like the big bad wolf, or like, you know, the wolf trying to eat the sheep. And it was because I send myself as like a wolf. That's my persona. Project is like a wolf. Like my emblem, my brand, and everything.
So
it kind of just
wolf
fit.
Tattoo. Why a goat tattoo?
Because he basically said, if you catch a goat, I'll cheer a ninja. I didn't catch the goat. He came into the stream and I said, oh, well, if you cheer a ninja, I'll get a goat tattoo because I can't catch a goat.
And that's why he kept saying, but you still have to catch the goat.
Yeah, there we go. So
I agree.
instead of So now,
nope, you still have to catch the goat.
I will try. On God's honest earth, I will try. I'll go.
Somebody clip this so we have proof. He said he was going to try to catch the goat too.
Wow. Just wow.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so basically I have to get this tattoo of a goat.
By Friday,
on my arm.
I draw. So yeah, where are you looking to put it? There we go. Thank you for the clip. Got proof. We've got proof. Because I clipped. He's literally saying, okay, well, if you donate that, all blah blah blah, and then they donate that, and then he realizes it and accepts it. I have that. Okay, so now we also have the part where he has to try to catch the goat. So
I can't promise that I can catch a goat. Have you ever tried catching a goat? It's very difficult.
Yes, I have actually. And also, we don't give a damn if you catch the goat. We prefer that you don't, because the entertaining part is watching you try to catch a goat.
I have to admit, watching the clips back, it was quite funny. Trying to basically feed these sheep flip pretzels. Like, I had one sheep. I swear to God, I had one sheep come so close, like within touching distance. Looked at me, like up and down, like literally looked at me up and down, and then just strutted away, as if my pretzels were nowhere near good enough. I felt so upset.
Listen, if you're gonna woo a lady, you gotta bring chocolate.
I know, but
pretzels.
They were fudge chocolate covered pretzels, like salted caramel pretzels.
Wait,
that was it. They were salted caramel covered pretzels, so it wasn't all bad. They weren't just plain pretzels. Give a guy a break, come on. All right, I tried.
I don't even know where this is completely derailed. All right, anyway, goat tattoo.
We were talking about D-Live and donations and how easy it is to support people.
That's right.
And that's one of the reasons why I love D-Live. And I'm not saying it because Joe's paying me to say it, or D-Live are paying me to say it, because they're not. I have had so many conversations with people on Mixer, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, via Twitter DMs, and on the face of Twitter, so it's in the open. Yes, there has been some negative feedback in certain scenarios around D-Live and some of the changes and some of the personalities that have been on D-Live. But when it comes down to it, the core ethic of D-Live has shone through on the platform, which has led us here now being such a connected community. It's not that we're just all here doing the same thing, just trying to stream and make, like, getting the most out of it. It's the fact that each and every single person that I've met on D-Live and that I will try and watch or get involved with or interact with, they genuinely give a hoot about the next person and want to help them, want to support them. So it's not just about getting as much Lino as possible, cashing out at the end of the week or end of the month or whatever, getting your payment and just cracking on. Majority of what we get, we try to then support our peers.
Actually, to be perfectly honest, being on D-Live has cost me money.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I spent $3,500 just to get started streaming, which you don't have to do, but I'm kind of like that. But I mean, I moved into a house and owned nothing because I've been traveling for 10 years. So I had to buy the rug, the desk, the lamp, right? The monitors, the computer, like on and on and on. It just adds up and you don't realize it. But besides that, I probably, well, it's changed now, but I bought too much Lino and gave it away. Like, I'm on a disability budget, a limited income. All the stuff I was getting, I was giving away, locking it in or giving away what I locked in, rewards, buying more, giving it away. Like, I do this to love on people, right? This would be an okay time to, since we're talking about donating on Lino. Lino was on the Steam at Blockchain originally. Then it
Yep.
switched over to creating its own coin called Lino, and it's been on a test net on a blockchain for the last year. And in the last few days, this month exactly, actually,
Yeah.
October 2019, it switched and had released its own IDA called Lemons, which works just like Lino was on the testnet, 1.2 pennies per lemon, right? So 0.012 of a dollar. That's not changing at all. But what did change, and what is kind of amazing, is those of us that have been involved with DLive since it's been on Lino and have locked in Lino, that now is going to a mainnet. And we actually are going to have cryptocurrency. And by locking in the Lino, we get a say in how this whole thing develops, right? We get to vote on like a board of directors would for any other company. So things are exciting right now with those donations.
Very exciting.
So
Very
you're a global
exciting.
partner and you've been around long enough to have seen some of these changes. How does that look to someone like you? Like, because if people are watching this going, hey, I want to stream on DLive and maybe one day I'll be a global partner, what does that look like?
And I say a lot about other platform stuff, but for like, if we're gonna compare it like this, with DLive being a partner on the platform, affiliate, verified, or global, with having Lino stake, now with it being in main or going to mainnet, it enables us as users of the platform to have an input as to how things are delegated across the platform. No other platform does this.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
None. I don't care what anybody says. Take the next month to try and find something that does this. You won't find it. You won't find something as unique as DLive. Hands down. And that's one thing that if you're going to start streaming on DLive or have thought about it, don't just give it a try for a couple of days and think, oh, I haven't got any viewers. I haven't had many people chatting in my stream. Like, there's no point. Connect with people. The first thing that I done when I started, and I think this is what's led for me to get into the position that I'm in now, is because I spent a lot of time trying to connect with people that have a similar idea to how I want to proceed myself. So it was connecting with people that play similar games. It was connecting with people that have a similar mindset. It's connecting with people that want to help others and see other people succeed as well as themselves. And that's one thing I did. So the Lino that I would be getting, I would donate, I'd cash out what I need. Because this for me is now my full-time income.
Okay.
So when it came to locking in Lino or cashing out Lino to live, feed my kid, pay my bills and do the rest of it, it was a very hard balance to try and find. Because I didn't want to not donate because I love to help people. But at the same time, I got to eat.
Right. Right.
I got to keep the electric in the meter. I got to get the gas inside and, hot water, the boiler, all the rest of it, and my son, and pay, what I needed to. So then the locking in thing, I understood locking in more. So I did. And then one obviously requirement to become a partner, like verify first. There was no affiliate at the time. Pre-PewDiePie, I became verified. And then I locked in what I needed to. I think it was like 10K. Was it for verified back then?
There were some, and may still be, locked in Lino requirements when Lino was on the test net with DLive, yes.
Yeah, so, and then 50K for global. So when I started, it wasn't until I hit the requirements 3 months in a row for global. And then thought, right, I've done pretty well considering I'm new to the platform and, people are here supporting. I'm going to lock in my Lino so I've hit that requirement for global. So now all I need to do is the donations. Because back then it was donations. It wasn't done on CCU or anything like that.
Yeah, it was like 100,000 a month, I think, that needed to be donated.
Yeah, that was it. So it was 100K Lino to hit that requirement to then be able to apply for global and then have a minimum. So I didn't do none of that follow for follow stuff. I just streamed, supported, got involved with conversations with people, got into streams as much as I can. And this is what stemmed to me, thinking about then investing into the platform. So I did. The Lino that I locked in, I kept it there. I haven't touched it. I've left it there. And as soon as it was announced that we were going to mainnet, I thought to myself, like, crikey, this is now me investing into a platform that I actually have an input on.
Yeah.
That if something changes, I can say, actually, no, I'm not a fan of that, and then offer my point as to why I'm not a fan of it, or vote.
Mm-hmm.
And then it then gives me the opportunity to have my voice heard, as well as so many others that have locked in Lino on the Lino stake now, as we should say, Lino stake. So
yeah, and as Wilson called it, the most expensive steak on the planet.
Exactly.
And the most delicious.
Exactly. This is far greater than a sirloin. This is so much nicer than a rump.
I actually bought more Lino when I found out that Lino was. They basically were like, "Hey, in 2 weeks, this is going to happen." Yeah. I bought more. I sold. This is how much I believe in it. I'm a former military guy, right? I live in the American South. We have guns. It's no big deal, right? I sold one of my guns and put the money into Lino to lock in more Lino for going to mainnet.
Makes sense.
So because not just because literally like I'm gonna get some more money and I can buy some more Lino, because of a very specific mental dynamic. I'm taking something, presumably a gun, right? If used appropriately in terms of self-defense, which is why I had this particular one, you would take away possibilities, right? You would kill someone, that ends their life. That takes away possibilities. So, because that's kind of how I think about it. A gun is just a tool for a specific job, but its job is to take away possibilities. So I thought I would rather take that energy and convert it into something that would give possibilities, right? And switch that dynamic in my life. So I sold the gun and bought Lino, which is the complete opposite energy in a very positive way. Regardless of what it does, up or down, left, right, don't care. I wanted to say to Lino and to DLive, I believe in you guys. I think this is awesome. Here's some more money. Do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
Maybe I make money later, and that'd be awesome. I don't care. I don't care if I do. Money doesn't mean anything to me. If I have enough to pay my bills and eat and take, like I give away the rest of my money every month. I've been doing it long before DLive. So this is just a fun way because you could reach out to people all over the world and give it to them immediately.
Yeah, that's it. And that's the beauty of it, is that it's immediate. Mm-hmm. Immediate. And like going back to when I was on Twitch, having subscribers, you had to hit a certain threshold to be able to do anything. So for me, like I'd get cheered bits or someone would sub and I'd have to wait until I hit a certain threshold to cash out, get the money to then be able to sub to other people and do that. It was such a lengthy process that it kind of didn't make it worthwhile. It was worthwhile because you'd subscribe to someone and, it would be supporting them. Whereas here, because it's instant, it makes it so much easier to be able to say, look, okay, you need... Back when you would need a locked-in requirement to hit like VP or global, whatever, and someone was like, "Oh, I'm about 2,000 away." Well, I've got 2,000 spare, like just sat there, like what I've been donated, and I just give it to them and say, "Look, here you go. Look, lock it in.
Right,
done.
Exactly.
Done. It's done. Forget about it. Now you can just stream you should be streaming to enjoy anyway. But that part of what was maybe causing you a little bit of anguish or got you feeling a bit nervous about hitting these requirements within a month, you've done it.
Mm-hmm.
And now the rest of it should flow. And I think that's why, with the changes with it going to mainnet, now we're going to start seeing a bit more of pre-PewDiePie / coming up to, say, pre-chess change.
Right.
The entity on DLive and the energy around DLive was slightly different in a positive way, so that now I think it's going to slowly revert back to that way because the changes of it going to mainnet, having the IDA in place, and there being more of it's not more of a purpose, but a greater purpose for Lino and Lino's stake, because now people have an understanding of it not being a hearsay, of it being, oh, well, it might work. Oh, but what happens if it doesn't? Now there's more. It's more probable.
Well,
And greater opportunity.
yes, but also let me make a point. I used to do a lot of like psychological research, right? I'm very interested in why people succeed or don't succeed, right? Like because I was looking for myself, to be honest, originally, but the successful people will tell you for a fact, if you don't believe in what you're doing 100%, you probably won't succeed. Right?
No.
If you're leaving room for, well, what if it doesn't and I need a contingency plan? Those people don't succeed statistically. If you think, like, I blindly believe in Lino, not because I'm not intelligent, not because I can't research and spout all the same statistics that everybody else can about blockchains and how many Lino there are and all that, because I don't give a damn. I'm going to support Lino. I believe in Lino. I'm going to support DLive. I believe in DLive. It's going to succeed because I am DLive. You are DLive. Everybody listening is DLive. I'm saying it's going to succeed and I'm going to do my part. You're doing your part. Clearly, you're a global partner, right? Like, it's going to succeed because we are DLive. DLive is not like Twitch. Twitch was bought by Amazon. If Twitch fails or succeeds, it's not going to be because of the quality of their streamers. It's going to be because of the business practices of the people that own the company. Well, we are the people that own the company. We are the people with those business practices. Your stream is a business. Your name that you stream under is your logo. It is your company's name.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
When people talk, well, it's a scam. I'm not a scam. And I am DLive. I am a Lino stakeholder.
It's funny you should say that. I literally had quite an aggressive, like, so I was basically confronted by somebody who was, I won't say any names, but they were banned from the platform. They were barred from the platform. And I basically was confronted about a few things because they tried to they basically blindly just tweeted something out online saying DLive's a scam. I basically replied saying, have you got any proof? Where's your evidence? Because anyone can say something, doesn't make it true. I said, but if you back it up with evidence or back it up with some factual information to show that it is or isn't or whatever, where are you going with this? And I literally was just then bombarded with hate. They tried to plug information about analytics on Twitter, where I get my followers from, or I bought all my followers, which was completely false. Basically said that I just donate. I was broke. I lived under the poverty line of annual income in the US. I was like, well, that's funny because I live in the UK, so that's rubbish.
Haters gonna hate, man.
Yeah, and that was literally it. It was like this. They were just trying to clutch at any sort of straw they could get to try and break me down and break down DLive. And the people that are part of the community, not just me, but people on DLive, didn't even see the initial comment of what they said, tweet from what I commented on, but they were just defending me because they know that I try to help people on the platform and vice versa, that everyone will try to help each other. Because we are DLive, it kind of sounds a bit cultish, but we are. We all look out for each other. The people that were here when it was very low numbers, before PewDiePie, and then as PewDiePie's come on, there have been more people that have come on that have fit into the mold very well because they have the same ethos.
Right.
And that's one thing that I really appreciate about DLive is because, the people that are here, staff members, guardians, global partners, verified partners, and slowly as we move down, like, you can tell because we all know each other,
right,
in some form or another, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not sounding incestuous at all, but we kind of know each other. We've heard someone's name, seen it somewhere.
I wasn't even thinking about it like that, but now I am. I'm just
What, incestuous or that we
yeah, I
would know each
wasn't
other?
even thinking about it like that, but now I'm gonna share that
It's
picture
because
of
I
you
live in a small town, all
half
right?
naked wearing my beard because now I am thinking about it.
But that's the thing, like, so in one form or another, people will know Author Joe. People will know Sean Hawk, LT Zonda. They'll know NJ Bells. They'll know, Enforcer J, Relentless TV, Nixer, Andy Watt. They'll know MG Live, Legends of Total War. They'll know
Yeah.
One Last Run. Like, I'm calling names out, like,
Actually, what's funny
we.
is you haven't said a name yet that I don't know.
I'm working through it. I'm very bad at doing
No,
this
no.
sort of stuff.
What I'm saying is you haven't said a name that I don't know. I'm elucidating your point. I know
Yeah,
everybody you're saying. I've been in their stream. I've met them. Some of them have been on the show.
that's it.
But
That's
you want to
it.
know
Like,
why though? I don't know. This is, and you probably know why, and I know why. But for those of you listening that don't, the reason the D Live community, this is my opinion, obviously, is so close is because for like the first D Live's about 2.5 years old, I think. I don't know literally, but it was on the Lino chain for a year, which is just ended. It was on other stuff for about a year and a half, right? Um, the core community of D Live are streamers that have come from everywhere else who said that doesn't work. They don't care about us. We don't have control over our content. They steal our money that we're earning. The followers, there's too much like bots in the channel, right? We're not like we can't actually get to the real people and have an actual conversation. It's too saturated. Whatever the problem was where they were, D Live was that place going, hey man, we know that stuff sucks and we're going to do it completely different. We're going to try this new thing. You guys own your content. We won't take any of your donations. We're going to actually give you money back in reward bonuses. By the way, if you believe in us and lock in the money that you're earning, we'll give you money back daily. 9.8% of all donations return, right? Like they kept going, we're going to make it better and better and better and better and better and more than you could ever have possibly hoped for. And so it was just streamers supporting streamers. You would go in to watch a channel, all of us in there are streamers. The whole conversation is just check marks, right? Is verified partners. Because I wasn't in there to give this guy one extra view. I'm in there because all my other friends are in there and because I know these people and because we like hanging out with each other and we believed in D Live, the idea of what it was doing, which was let's build a community first. Let's build a business that the community owns and runs and can control, right? Like let's try to decentralize live streaming, right?
that's it.
And they've done that. And so this community is very strong. Now, 10 years from now, I don't know, right? Because what we're hoping is it gets bigger and better and there's more people, right? But it's going to be harder to maintain that tight-knit community feel. I think. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's just a much, much, much bigger family. And if we build it one streamer at a time, one good person at a time, it's going to continue to be this incredible thing it is now, in my opinion.
100%, 100%. Because what you need to remember as well is that how people will learn to fit in with. Well, they'll join the ethos of how D Live works and how people are on D Live. It stems from us here now already.
That's a good point. Like even if you aren't that now, you will be if you're here any length of time because we are. And you will become like the people you hang around.
Like, for example, I had someone come into my chat today saying, oh, I'm going to do my first stream on D Live. Done their first stream. They're like, oh, I had no one here talking. I said, how long have you been on D Live? Started here. I said, well, there you go then. I said, I was here near enough 2-3 weeks before I'd even done my first stream. And I was learning how D Live worked before I just thought, let's just go do it.
Yeah, I actually moderated LT Zonda's channel every day for 2 months before he talked me into streaming. Yeah. I wasn't even going to stream, but he was like, you help people. You could do that online too.
That's it. Just by us doing this now, with what
Okay.
you've constructed, doing this now
Mhm.
is helping people.
Oh, I've seen it for I didn't know it was going to. I'll be honest, because I
Yeah.
write books, right? Like I like recording. I'm an anthropologist, a cultural anthropologist. I record human interest stories versus like digging
Yeah.
up bones, right? I believe the best way to record the past is to record the present so that
That's it.
in the future we have accurate renditions of the past. And so my idea was, hey, this is a new idea. Nobody's done this before. Let's talk to people about it. Let's talk all these streamers I was meeting, like Fatheaded Noob is my best example because he's been
Yeah.
on every platform and every rendition of that platform and every rendition of D Live and streaming and partnered and the first Guardian and staff, right? So he kind of could encompass the whole idea,
Yeah.
which was my thesis statement. You know, it took me 40 shows or something to get there, but the point was I was doing it as an autistic person. Let's record what's happening because I know it's a big deal.
Like
What?
data entry.
Yeah, like I knew this was a big deal. I knew D Live was onto something, right? Like we're not robots. We're not AI. We are living, breathing humans with real emotions, which we talked about when we started the show, right? Like real
Yeah.
struggles. And D Live was the first company, the first idea where they went, hey, can we just treat them like we like them, like we're friends, like
They're
we
not
care about
cattle.
each other, you know? Let's
Yeah.
let's build a business where we care about each other and see how that works.
And that's it. Like you look at, I mean, you can kind of now already see how things are being done from a corporate perspective because of there's been two massive moves from platforms at the moment. Ninja being one from Twitch to Mixer, and also Shroud being one from Twitch to Mixer.
And PewDiePie from
And now
YouTube to D
PewDiePie
Live.
from exactly. Like obviously he still does his videos, but his exclusive streaming is on D Live, which is huge.
But
It's
content
huge.
creation and live streaming are different conversations.
Exactly. They're completely separate entities within a genre of
Right.
content creation, but they are separate. It's like having Snickers and Mars bars. They're both chocolate bars, two different things.
Well, one is live. That's the
Exactly.
huge difference.
Exactly. But with D Live obviously being what it is, like it's giving the people the opportunity to have a voice within an industry that they, it's run by us. Twitch wouldn't be Twitch if it wasn't for the people streaming and viewing.
Right.
D Live wouldn't be D Live if it wasn't for the people streaming and viewing. Like, yeah, staff make everything, but it's the viewers and then the streamers that actually make the platform work.
Right. Well, there is no platform without them.
Exactly, and that's the beauty of D Live is that they haven't forgotten that core value. Yeah, there's been some questionable changes or things have happened, but every single change
That's
is
normal. Growing pains.
Exactly.
Right?
Every single change, everything that's updated on the platform, everything that's done is done with the people in mind. It's not just done because it's going to make more money. It's not just done because it's going to improve, something that's going to make things better for staff or the company. It's done because it's going to help improve the lifestyle for people on the platform.
Well, and not only that, when something doesn't quite work out correctly, they listen to us and they affect it. They change it.
Yeah, 100%. And that's like a huge thing, especially with this being on an adaptive blockchain that we basically have control over with our stake.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to your point of saying what it means to have Lino stake and be a part of the Lino blockchain impact platform, what we have inputted via us having Lino stake, etc., is what will shape the future for D Live. Because it's how we vote, how we give our information, and how we feed back to staff and the people that manage and maintain D Live, because we are the ones that are at the forefront using it, and that's right. Huge. Well, for us,
and
here.
even more revealing, the a lot of the guardians and staff are streamers.
Exactly.
That's on D Live, and they don't stream with like a staff badge. If you go to their channel, you're not going to know their staff unless they tell you, right? They have all the same rank structure as us in terms of affiliate, verified partner, global partner. They have to meet the same requirements. And I like that. And I've had guardians and staff on the show, and I don't automatically say anything about that unless they want to, right? Because this show is about other streamers on D Live.
Yeah.
So I think it illustrates the point that this company, not only was it built to allow us, the streamers, to run it, but it was built by streamers.
Yeah, 100%.
By streamers, for streamers. And there's luckily some really smart people got involved on the money side of it, because I'm not a math guy. I'm not a money guy.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the Lino team, and listening to those guys talk. I know I'm a smart person. Listening to them talk, I don't feel that way. Like those dudes are on another level, man. And I appreciate them for that, giving. We all do that's a beautiful thing about this company is like, whatever you're good at, do that, because the rest of us are good at other stuff. So we're all together going to make this work.
Exactly. Yes.
Flat out.
Thank you.
Yep. Yep. What's funny is I just realized in your name, under your face there on the screen, I had an E instead of a 3 for project.
Oh, yeah.
You know what it is? My brain, I can read, you can write in letters and numbers and symbols. You don't even need to use letters, and my brain can just read it.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me a horrible editor. Like, I'm a good writer, but I am not a good editor.
So originally it was going to be project with an E, GD, but someone already had it. So I couldn't use it. Hence the username on Twitter and stuff like that, and Instagram, and then Twitch. It was project with a 3, not an E, GD, because someone already had with an E. So I was kind of a bit bummed out. I was like, oh, great. Like, what am I going to do? So then I thought, actually, do you know what? Yeah, let's just chuck a number in. It's kind of edgy. It's kind of cool. The kids will love it.
Well, I mean,
it's just
you play Fortnite, so I mean, I just, you had to, obviously you're going to use Leet or whatever, That's just throwing a little shade. Oh, I
got a light on, so it's fine. I can cast out the shade.
Oh, okay. I saw somebody posted like something from Elon Musk that said he was gonna buy Fortnite and delete it, so you guys would be virgins for the rest of your life. And I was just like, wow.
The funny thing is funny because it's true. It's funny because it's true. But no, that was it. Like, it literally was because somebody else had the E and I couldn't use it. So I was like, I'd just chuck a number in 3. Kind of looks cool. And then when I come to D Live, when I set my profile up, I was able to grab project with the 3, just project. Because when I started, people couldn't read that it was a project GD. They were like, "Oh, Project God, projected, Project G." I was like, "Okay, so there's no D." And I was like, "Ah." And then they come into stream, and they'd be like, "Yo, project projected," and I'm like, "Okay, thank you." And then when I was able to get just project on D-Live, I was like, "You know what? That's it. I've found my place. This is it."
Now that's actually a really important point to talk about, guys, which is branding, right? Like, the name that you stream under is your brand, your company brand, right? If you can, right? If you're new to streaming, like with Project, obviously he's been around for a while, different platforms, right? But if you're new to streaming and you don't have a name yet, pick a name first. Don't start streaming first. Because your name is your brand. Like, I've got custom merch made. It's got my name on it. If I change my name, right, it changes. There's a ripple effect. You've got to hire logo people. You've got to hire overlay people. You've got to hire people that do laser engraving, right? You got
everything.
Right. It's a huge deal later. So pick a name that is about you, and don't be afraid to change the name. Don't be set on a name, right? Be clever, be creative. But also, we got to be able to read it. we've got to be able to type it. It's got to be so smooth. Is my favorite guest I've had on the show, because in terms of graphics and logo and stuff, because he actually got into mnemonics. How do words sound? Can they remember it? Right? Is it memorable? So smooth. It's so like you just can't. I can't say smooth without saying so smooth, and I can't say so without thinking.
That's it.
So
Like, if you
smooth.
think of like smooth peanut butter, it's like,
Dude, I stood in there. I have actually like said so smooth when I meant to say so, because my brain just wants to fill in the rest. It's incredibly important, right? So you're going to need Discord as a voice and video server to be successful on this platform. You're going to need Twitter. Twitter is, you just type quick little blurbs and put them out. It's also a great way to network. Try to pick a name that you can get on Twitter, Discord, and DLive, minimum together. Preferably other things you do too, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you're using. Try to use the same name. It's very important, because people come to my channel and they go, hey, do you have books? Yeah, authorjoeholt.com. Do you have Twitter? Yeah, at @AuthorJoeHolt. Do you have Facebook? /AuthorJoeHolt. Like to find my
so
DLive
fluid.
channel, authorjoeholt.tv. I bought my own .tv domain name, forwarded it to dlive.tv /AuthorJoeHolt. Right?
Yeah.
So when people ask me what's your channel name, I can just say authorjoeholt.tv.
Yeah, and that's it. And like that's what I turned into, like an iconic brand part, is that now, because people are like, is that project? And then they're like, oh, I can't find you. I was like, did you use a 3, not an E? Yeah. I had to, well, I used an E. No, it's 3, not an E. So now the part of my brand is, what's up, guys? It's project with a 3, not an E.
And
Or
that's
I use,
actually
like,
makes it memorable.
exactly. So now people, when I walk down the street, and this is the most cringiest thing I've ever experienced in my life, not on my part, not for them, but I was walking one day in my local town, and like, I'm not saying that I'm big by any means. I'm not the big, like, but I was and somebody shouted down the street. They're like, yo, 3, not an E. Because they see my stories on Instagram, or they see something that I post and it catches on. And that's what it's about. If you're going to create branding.
And you know they're a friend.
Exactly.
Even if you've never met that person before and they said that to you, you'd be like, we can high five now.
Exactly. Because they understand that what you're doing is you. It's your story. It's how you tell it. And so for me, like, when I was able to just get project on here, I was, do you know what? Actually, I'm just going to run with it. And it works. It works. So people know me as Project now. I'm not James. I'm not Rico. It's Project. I go out for a drink in the pub.
Yep.
Yo, Project, what's up, dude? I'm like, okay. You know, and it's 3, not an E.
I had a guest on the show yesterday, and streams by Uber, right? And I was like, so my first question was, so when did you steal that name and why did you start streaming with it? You know, and he was like, yo, whoa. I was born and raised in Germany. My buddies have been calling me Uber Machten Dudenstein since well before Uber was a company. You know, I was like, oh, okay, great. You know what I mean? Now I'm going to remember him as Uber, you know, Machten Bearden Dudenstein or whatever. I was like, okay, that's awesome, right? Like,
and it works.
Rocket. Now, I do have to say a word of caution. Don't go use a copyrighted name with a major company that's still very much active in the world. They will sue you, right? Like, you have to try to be creative. He has a legitimate argument to the name Uber. And surprisingly enough, it was actually available, right? But be careful about the name you choose too. Be clever, be creative, but also don't steal copyrighted content, because let me give you an example. My nickname is Aloha Joe. I've been called Aloha Joe for a long time, right? Covered in tribal tattoos, wear Aloha shirts every day. I could not stream. I did research before I started streaming. Can I stream with the name Aloha Joe? I would have been sued and taken off the air if I had done that, because when I looked it up, there is a copyright for broadcasting with the name Aloha Joe by a radio DJ. I
Wow.
would have been
Okay.
sued. Flat out, I would have been sued. And it would have completely devastated my brand if I had started out as Aloha Joe, right? I would
Yeah.
have, my brand's gone. I have to start over. So be careful, but spend some time, do some research. If you want to make a brand, don't kid yourself, guys. This is my brand. Author Joe Holt is my brand name. It's also my name, right? I'm an author. I write books and stuff. But with the Library of Congress in the United States, Author Joe Holt is a brand name as a publisher and is a name as an editor. And my name is Joe Holt with
Yeah.
them as an author. But the brand name is Author Joe Holt. So be careful how you do that. Be smart. Because here's the thing, guys. Like even Project, he makes money from this now. This is his job now. So let's say you're 6 months into your job and then somebody stops paying you because your company got shut down overnight because you were doing something illegal. Now what?
Boom.
So
Good luck.
we've seen it happen here on DLive. We've seen people lose their name and their channel.
Yeah.
You've been warned.
Just think it through and be unique, because the thing is, no one's really gonna remember something the same as someone else.
Right. Wait, NJ Bills, you're not from New Jersey? He said in chat, everyone from the US thinks the NJ in my name is for New Jersey. I did, because I'm from the US.
Wow.
Just so that's an important point, though, guys. It's an important point. Your name is your company. It is your brand name. Spend some time and think about it. And if you change your name, say Project gets to a global partner with this name Project, and then a week from now changes his name completely to Ghost 37. That's a different company. That's a different name, right? Like unless you knew him before, you're going to be very, very confused. One of my favorite streamers on DLive streamed, another bearded streamer, I won't say his name, but he streamed under a particular name. Everybody knew him by it. He was having some mental health concerns. He thought changing his brand name, changing everything up would help him with that. He did that. Now he has since gone back to the first name because he realized he was fine. Everything's fine, right? Like we
Just needed a moment.
Yeah. And that now, I'm not disparaging his decision. I think it helped him because when he was on my show, he was using the new name and has since gone back to the old name. And I even tagged that with his old name, knowing that's who I knew him as, right? Not as anything against the new name he was choosing, but I didn't know him by that name. And I knew that my viewers wouldn't know him by that name. And they most certainly would know him by his first name and would want to watch the show, right? So
That's it.
So it's incredibly important.
That's exactly it. Exactly it.
Yep. So, all right, let me look at the now this sticker. You don't have to talk about this if it's too painful, but there's a half naked sticker of you in your chat, and so I stole it, put my beard on it to give you more confidence. But you appear to be holding X Gamer, and one of my favorite streamers has mentioned your name, Flow Driver, who is an X Gamer spokesperson. Actually, she just got her own flavor.
Yeah.
How crazy is that, right?
Very crazy.
I noticed you're holding some X Gamer stuff. So this isn't necessarily about you and X Gamer, but let's talk about getting sponsored, right? Getting sponsored so you don't have to buy the games, getting sponsored for money, for free products, whatever. Is that important? Do you need that as a streamer? Does it help? How do you get it done? Like any of it you want to talk about? Because I don't know any of that. And I think a lot of the viewers don't either.
Okay, before we go any further, I'm no longer partnered with X Gamer. So I terminated my contract last month. So I'm no longer with X Gamer anymore. So I actually need to delete that sticker.
Well, it's
as you
different.
See, the branding now.
It's
The branding
different.
now is
Okay, so wait. So talk about your hat because I was gonna
company.
ask you what that was about.
So today, this is kind of in context. It's not shameless plug-in. It kind of is a plug.
Shameless plug. This is your show.
So basically, I've now partnered with a company, Excite Energy. Okay. So these guys provide energy cans, energy drink. Very similar to X Gamer, but it's a healthy alternative with multivitamin
ginseng, natural caffeine and flavors, natural caffeine extract. It's completely different to X Gamer. Now, the reason why I'm wearing all the gear, I've got the multiple cans, I've got the other hat here next to me, Excite Energy, I've got another t-shirt chucked on over there, is because they actually came here and done some video footage. So there's going to be a YouTube video going out of literally them looking at me, kind of like some weird ninja when he got signed by Red Bull. It's kind of something similar. They're making a video of me being in my natural environment and wanting to branch more in depth into the esports and streaming and content creation part of the world.
So how many ninjets would it take to get an Excite Energy tattoo? No, I'm kidding. That was a joke. Don't even stop thinking. Stop thinking, because he's already accepted.
Literally, I need to get the go.
Ninjet for a tattoo. Yeah.
I mean, I would get it. I would get it on my ass cheek. But anyway, yeah. So with sponsorships and stuff, I didn't really start looking for sponsorships until I didn't really look. It's one of those things where I never felt like my content was good enough to be sponsored. I never felt like my content was good enough to have somebody pay for something or endorse me with something or give me something to promote of theirs, because I felt like I didn't have enough going for me. When you look at these sort of top tier streamers like Zonda, for example, Flow, or, you know, even bigger like Ninja, Dr. Lupo, you know, Seaf on Mixer and stuff like that, like, I thought, crap, like, you need to be big to get that. But it wasn't until I actually started building a bit of traction with a community and a sense of actual family around me, of people that genuinely care about my decision on the products I use, or for example, like my keyboard and stuff, like, and my mouse and the mic I use, the monitors I use, and, you know, the chair I sit in and the desk I've got and stuff like that. Like that's when I started to realize and think, actually, do you know what? I want to encourage people to use the stuff I use because I like it and it works. And if they want to use it, then, you know, this is them giving them an opportunity to get something either slightly cheaper, or, you know, it's a greater interaction with me using products that I use. So, for example, with like Excite Energy, like, for me, like, I don't now with the endorsement deal that I have, I don't get commission from sales like I did with X Gamer. X Gamer paid me for people using my code. Whereas with Excite, I don't get paid for anything. So any promo that I do is strictly off my own back. I just seen in the delay of the stream. I just seen your fast camera. I love it. Use code AJH. Check out for 20% discount. So yeah, like, so for basically, when it comes to endorsement deals or partnerships or sponsorships, don't sell yourself out just to get a product. Don't sell yourself out just to get a product.
I'm glad you said that twice.
Because so many people will go out and they will use, and I've been stung by this recently. They try to take it on and say, you're part of the stream team. You're there to represent the stream team, and we'll help you with this. We'll help you with this. We'll do this for you. We'll do that for you. I signed a contract, and I was like, okay, do you know what? Actually, this deal, this is good. And it wasn't until a few months down the line that I thought, actually, no, all they're doing is just piggybacking off of me promoting their product and utilizing what I have and what I've built to peddle their product for free.
Yep.
So then I sort of just stopped doing it. And I took their graphics off my stream overlay, out of the about section in my stream. I stopped tweeting. I stopped including them in tweets. I stopped tagging them and stuff. I even stopped using my code for months. And they didn't even notice.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really great point, because knowing, like, I can say it simply. You need to know your own worth. Your time 100%. Is valuable. Your product is valuable. For us to sit here in front of you guys and stream, it costs money, right? Yeah. The house, the electricity, the internet, like, all of it costs money. except D Live. D Live's free, which is sweet. Thought I'd have plug that in there. We stream. It doesn't cost us money to stream on D Live. We just create an account and set it up and stream. That's awesome. But it does take time and effort and money, and you're putting your life into this. Get paid for it.
That's it. But then this also leads on to, so that like when it comes, if you do ever get in a with Excite, I was very fortunate because they're very local to me. An hour's drive away tops, like max with traffic. They're an hour's drive away. So for me, terminating my contract with X Gamer, I won't go into too much detail as to why I terminated, but the reason behind me leaving X Gamer was because they basically with how I choose to see myself as a product, I didn't really agree with their practice.
That's exactly
what they were doing.
That point he just made, guys. Say that again.
In terms of how, like, what I want people to see me as my product, I didn't agree with their practice.
And see, so it doesn't. He didn't say they didn't offer me enough money. They didn't send me enough free product. He said I have a vision for my company and my stream and what I'm gonna be, and that didn't align, so I didn't work with that company.
Yeah.
I think there are folks who accept those sort of deals who don't even consider that.
No, not at all. There's companies like that. I'll even name, like, Fade Grips, biggest pet peeve. This is something that what I'm about to say now is huge, and people don't get it. If a company truly believes that your time, effort, and value will represent their product in the right way, they will not ask you to buy their product first. Period. They will not ask you to buy their product first. If they truly believe that you are good ROI, return of investment for them, and they truly believe that you will help promote their product in the right way to represent their core values, to align with your core values, they will not ask you to buy their product straight away. Excite looked at my VODs, they looked at previous streams, they looked at previous tweets and Instagram posts and my interactions of what I like in interaction on Instagram before they emailed me back. Within their email, they said, "We think you would be a great fit for Excite. Let's get you set up by sending you a crate of our drink." I've only ever tried one can of their drink before. Last year I went to a gaming convention. They gave out a free can. I tried it. Thought it was absolutely brilliant, but I just signed my contract with X Gamer. They didn't ask me to buy anything. They didn't ask me to generate sales before they sent me the product. They said, "Let's send you a crate." So they did. They sent me 36 cans. I've nearly drank them all. And they said, "We'll basically send you a crate every month to promote our product." I said, "Really?" They said, "Yeah." We said, "We've looked at your content. We've done some history and research into you. And we genuinely think you'll fit the brand." So for me, it was a no-brainer saying yes, because I've already done my research, found out the product, already looked into what they do and how they are and what they represent. So I said, right, let's get this started. And I did. And then 2 weeks later, they've come here to where I stream, in my house, in my bedroom. They've made a video. They're making content around this. You know, they've watched me play some games. They've seen me drinking their product. They made a promotional video as like an advertisement. And they truly believe that I'm going to. So when a company says, "We want to work with you, but you've got to buy our product to join our affiliate scheme," it's not because they think that you're good at what you do. It's because they think, oh, you're just another person that can peddle their product, and you become part of their herd of sheep that are doing the same thing. Which stems on to then, how many other people do they have peddling a similar code to sell their product that you're competing with.
Mm.
I would rather work with a company that's slightly smaller, but is unique to me and what I do. In terms of Excite, there's only 4 other people that are streamers that, work with Excite. Than work with a company that have easily given me the opportunity to promote their product, but have also given that opportunity to 100 other people.
Mm-hmm.
Because at some point, within this ring fence of 100 other people that are promoting their product, I'm going to cross paths with a lot of the people they've already dealt with, or they speak to, or people use their code. And that's one of the things that happened quite frequently within the X-Gamer community, is that there were people sending sly little direct messages amongst people that were, the consumers, saying, "Oh, I need help with my code. This can you use my code?" And it's like, well, hang on, no. So that's another reason why I kind of left.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing to take into consideration. Do your research.
I mean, I would actually consider working with them, or not even working with them, just drinking their product, because I like to try to be as healthy as possible. Sometimes you do need a little extra. And
it's a pick-me-up.
Well, I've been drinking the Bang energy drink because it's available at the store from my house, and it's supposed to be healthier option, right? Creatine, amino acids, things like that.
Yeah.
But I still feel like it's not as healthy as I would like to be. There's weird colors, there's weird flavors, right? I've been looking for a more healthy alternative for an energy drink. So hell, maybe me and you will have to talk after.
Dude, it's available. It's available. So,
That's cool.
we are again, and it goes for anybody that wants to know more about endorsements and stuff like that. I mean, I've worked with not massive companies, but previously when I was doing my blogging, I worked with SteelSeries, Razer. I've worked with, obviously I'm working with Excite now, who are steadily growing. Like the past year, they've grown in leaps and bounds. I've worked with Fierce PC. I've worked with PC Specialist. I've worked with Nitro Chairs. I've worked with Noble Gaming Chairs, briefly for a campaign. Just trying to think. CD Keys I've worked with. I think that's probably most of the main name brands.
That's a lot. Like most streamers, if they've had something, it's been something. So I'm not sure what you're doing with your hands, but it's translating through to the mic, by the way.
Oh, sorry, I'm moving the mic.
that would explain it. So okay, so if somebody, maybe this is a better question: should streamers look to be sponsored, or should they look to just create quality content and hope a sponsor comes along that notices?
It's like striking it's like another question saying, am I posting enough content? Am I posting not enough? Is my content good? It's very similar to those kinds of questions where it's one of those things where you can build yourself up and grow and grow and grow, and somebody will find you. Or you grow and grow and grow and think, right, actually, I've got a strong community behind me that will represent the product that I want to work with, and they'll buy it and use my code. And again, it's straight. I mean, I got into a position where I thought, I had companies DM me and ask to work with me. So I thought, what, maybe this is an opportunity for me to maybe start asking and knocking on doors, because I was being asked by other companies. So I thought, well, if these companies are asking to work with me, maybe my content is kind of good enough to represent, the companies that I would like to work with. But at the same time, obviously, you don't want to go so far-fetched, like NZXT, one of the biggest PC manufacturers in the world for like gaming PCs. You sort of get an opportunity from, say, Excite Energy. They'll be like, so we would love to work with you. So you think, these guys want, let's go for the big fish. Let's go for the biggest fish in the pond with my mediocre rod to try and fish them out. It's just going to snap.
It's not about the size of the rod, sir.
I know, I get that, and that's the thing. Like, you do see on rare occasions. Well, you do see on occasions where you'll have big companies like Razer or SteelSeries. They'll work with somebody who has under 1,000 because they think, oh, actually, do you know what? This person has got really good content. They do provide great quality. Let's work with them because we do see a future with them growing. But you know that's kind of in our industry. That's kind of like winning the lottery, if that makes sense. It's possible. It's possible, but it's rare.
Right.
So,
right.
My advice.
So yeah, go ahead. I was gonna say, so should they or shouldn't they? Because I don't think we actually said that.
Yeah. So answering that question directly, I would say keep providing the best quality content for you. Keep pumping your content out on a regular basis. Keep building your interactions. Then when you feel you are building traction, you're getting a good community around you, people regularly stream, and you notice that there are regular people coming into your stream, for example, that would then be a good opportunity to start looking at endorsement deals.
Right. So don't be overcritical, but have something to offer.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, it's like if you were to work in sales. This is basically like working in sales, right? You get a product, you got to sell that product to make a return of investment for the company that you work for. If you're not selling the product, they'll sack you. In this context, obviously, you're trying to get their product and use their product yourself. So, for example, Excite give me free cans, but it's because they know that I'm going to sell their product.
And use it.
Exactly. So I'm using their product and I believe in their product. I can sell their product. Because yes, when I drink this, I do feel like I get a good kick. I don't crash as hard as what I did drinking X Gamer. And I've drunk like 3 cans today and I feel good. I shouldn't have drank 3 cans, but I don't feel like I'm going to die.
I feel like what you just did was like a mini commercial for Excite, and I love it.
It literally was.
Because you're like, I just had a kid, and I feel like I'm not gonna die.
I feel great.
Oh, right. That's how you said it. That's right.
Yeah, like,
That's
but it literally is it. Whereas before I was tasting different flavors. I had a few shots of X Gamer, and I felt dog awful. And I'm not bad mouthing the product because I've used X Gamer for well over 15 months. But I just, after trying, X Gamer is not the only thing on the market.
Right.
I tried something new and it works and it helps and I feel great drinking it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm not saying that. That's what I mean. It's not a remedy. It's not going to cure cancer or anything like that. But when I'm gaming, I feel the buzz and I feel focused when I'm playing games like Apex and Fortnite. Not that I win or it makes a difference. But I feel that it does.
I had another global partner to say, endorse products that you use.
Yes, 100%.
Right? Because otherwise you have nothing to talk about. You don't know if their chair is good or not. You don't know if the drink works or not, right? You don't know if the computer is good enough to stream or not.
Yeah.
I like
it. It's like, again, going back to a company.
I love it. He's 15 months. Yeah, that's called a year. He's doing that. He's doing that young dad talk. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
Thanks I thank you for calling him out. That's my mod looking out. I appreciate that.
Do you know what makes it worse? He's more in my channel as well, and he's in my own channel. So I can't escape this. I can't escape this.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I was gonna say was, it's like you wouldn't trust a tattoo artist to tattoo you if they don't have. Right. So why would you trust somebody like companies that ask you to buy their product first before peddling their product? It's like them saying, right, well, I need you to buy it so you can trust that it does work and then you can sell it. It's like, well, no, if you believe that it's going to work, then you'll let me use it because you know that I can sell it and it's going to work.
And not only that, actually, Best of Worst is he's also been on the show, and this wasn't brought up on the show. It's just something I've learned watching his stream. He has like a beef jerky endorsement deal, right?
Yes.
Like, because he eats beef jerky and likes beef jerky. So the reason I'm bringing that up is to say to you guys, think outside the box. It doesn't have to be just a gamer chair endorsement deal or a computer endorsement deal, right? You eat beef jerky, get a beef jerky deal, so you get beef jerky. You know?
It's not XP jerky, is it, mate?
I forget. I wasn't gonna plug him. I was just saying, like, giving an example. I mean, I guess I would plug him.
Yeah,
but not on your dime. You know what I mean?
Mate, yeah, let's go. But that's the thing. Like, it does. You know, it's very difficult to find when is a good time. It's very difficult because you could have 1,000 followers and think, you know what, this might not be time yet, or you could have 1,000 followers and think, actually, do you know what, I've got a bit of traction. I think I've got something that I can offer to a company, and I think that I will be able to sell their product very well. Because at the end of the when you start stepping into the realms of endorsement ships, it then becomes business. It then becomes business because they're giving you a product, which is their money, is their profit margin they're eating into, and they give you a free product. So you've got to then think, right, well, say for example, I'm selling SteelSeries gaming headsets because I'm sponsored by SteelSeries. They send you a SteelSeries headset. You've then got to sell one headset with your code to prove that you're set, because that's how they do it. It's either an affiliation link, which they can track, or a code.
Sure.
When you sell one unit, they're like, right, okay, project sold one unit. That's one headset. That covers the cost of sending him a headset. You then need to sell another headset to cover the cost of them sending you the headset for them to make a profit.
Right.
Because obviously, if they've sent you something for free, you've got to sell two of it for them to make a profit. One to replace it, two to make the profit. So you need to be a good return of investment for them. And if you can't do that, then what's the point? So that's when it stems to thinking, right, if I can really... That's why I went with Ida, because they're not overly priced. They're reachable with their price. You know, you can get 24 cans for the price of 30 GBP. So it's not massively expensive. And you're going to run out at some point, so you're going to want to buy more. And I drink it myself. So, you know, people can see me drinking it all the time on stream, and they're going to look at the product and think, actually, do you know what, I can afford that. You can even buy, this is another thing that really enticed me, you can buy these in local stores. So it's not just that it's exclusive to a website. You can literally go down to a local medicine store called Holland and Barrett in the UK and buy them for a quid.
Because Chaotic was actually asked, she's in the UK, and was asking about, you know, or she's saying what puts her off, she can't buy them smaller than 24 cans. Well, you can.
Yeah, you can literally go to the store. Yeah, there's a Holland and Barrett store. My local one doesn't sell them because they're quite small, but I think where Chaotic lives, your Holland and Barrett would stock them.
Well,
but yeah, like, I mean, it's very hard to gauge whether you got a big enough audience.
Well, and I mean, it comes down to, I don't know anything about being sponsored. I don't know anything about streaming. I've never streamed before. I've never been sponsored before, right? So it can seem very daunting if you approach it from that angle, right?
Yeah.
It's if you're just streaming and somebody reaches out and you say, yeah, sure, that's kind of falling into it, right? But you could pursue it. You can petition. Like, I'll give you an example. Probably the number one thing that a lot of streamers tried to get sponsored with when I was watching on Twitch was games. They would try to get a gaming company to sponsor them, so you get free copies of the new games. And it fed their gaming addiction, right? You get all the new games for free. That's awesome. They would buy them anyway, right? And that's kind of that's the point, though. Do something that you would use or that you already are using. Look around your desk. What is it that I need every day to stream? I can sell that to people, right? Like, I've told, I don't know how many people I've said, go spend $100 on Amazon and buy a Yeti Blue microphone. Your stream's going to be a lot better. Right?
Yeah.
I could have sold dozens of these things by now. I
100%.
never thought about that. You know what I mean? I could easily sell Yeti microphones, probably more than any other thing I use, because as a streamer, if you don't have a good mic, you don't have a stream.
That's it. Audio and picture quality is everything. If you use a cam, then yeah, picture quality is everything. Audio, definitely. People, they listen. They're listening. So using, like, for me, for example, I use a Blue Snowball. First mic. It's the first ever mic that when I started on Twitch.
Don't touch it though.
No, sorry, I lifted it up. I lifted it up. So someone gifted me the mic. So I was using a crappy headset, and it sounded god awful. But people enjoyed my content because I was just being me. So they gifted me a Snowball mic with the arm, and now I'm looking at going XLR because it's going to take my audio quality to the next level. So using an XLR microphone and a new arm, so it reaches a larger arm, so in front of my face, it will sound so much better. So yeah, again, going back to what you said, using a product and selling a product that you will genuinely use on a day-to-day basis,
and
it's huge.
And I don't think you need a microphone in your face, right? Like that comes down to personal opinion. I've had people ask me about it, but do I get a microphone with a boom? Do I get one that's desk mounted? Well, if you put one on your desk, you have to be aware that anything you do on your desk, the mic is going to pick up that noise, even with
unless
good
you
noise
have
gates.
A shock stand.
Well, I was going to say there's ways to mitigate it, right? You have to have noise gates in Discord. You have to have a shock stand. I set everything on a paper towel. So when I set my drink back down on the desk, it doesn't clack, right? But that's because I tried streaming with a boom stand in my face, and it drove me crazy. I'm always hitting the mic, trying to, you talk with your hands, you're going to be smacking your mic. So consider that. But
then flipping the coin, this again, like you just said, with self-preference, I prefer having it on an arm because then it's off the desk and I've got space for my keyboard and mouse.
Nice.
Because obviously the games that I play are quite aggressive using the mouse. So it's up off the desk and out the way, and I can have sort of not in my face, but in and around my mouth area. That sounds literally like I'm sucking dick. Like I can have it in an area that is suitable for how I play my games on.
Right. Now, I do have to tell you, you do cut in and out a little bit. Your noise gate either needs to be less restrictive or you need to stay closer, because when you go back and get excited, you clip out.
That's what I mean. Whereas if I had it, because I used to have it on an arm, so it was closer to my mouth, so it meant that my vocals were very clear. So this is why now I'm saving to get the XLR microphone with a new mixer, an audio mixer, and everything's going to be, honestly, mate, we'll do this show in like the new year. I'll come back. If you invite me back, I'll come back and you'll hear a complete difference. Complete difference.
I tried to end the show 10 minutes in and you just wanted to keep going.
I love to talk, mate. I'm sorry.
No, actually, that was a joke, because he basically illustrated what an incredible human being he was, like, real early on. And that's pretty much what the show is about, is like loving on other amazing people. I'm an amazing people. You're an amazing people. We have to support each other.
100%. And that's the life in a nutshell.
Exactly. So we haven't allowed for questions yet, but you guys have been very patient. You've been very awesome. Dude, we've been talking like 2.5 hours.
Doesn't feel like it.
I know. I hadn't even looked. I just looked at my OBS, like 2 hours and 22 minutes. That's cool. So, and Author Joe Holt can get a beard oil sponsorship.
Imagine.
Guys, I'm actually, so again, never had a beard before D-Live. So if you, let me throw here, exclamation YouTube in the chat. If you follow that link, it'll take you to all the Fireside chats that I've done to this point. It's only D-Live streamers. There's 41, 40, this will be 42. Tons of great information, but you can watch my beard grow from the first Fireside chat till now. If that's something, if you're a Pagonophile, which is somebody, if you have pagonophilia, you're attracted to men with beards, and you can watch my beard grow. Anyway, Friday, going to my first professional barbershop beard trimming experience. And I'm very excited.
That's huge.
Yep. First time a barber, and this guy's got a bigger beard than me, so I'm stoked.
So you're literally going in and having the full works. They're gonna basically groom the beard.
Yep. Like you don't cut it for length, you shape and style and get it ready for the rest of my life, you know. Yeah.
That I wish I had something like that to do that.
You know what?
I envy you.
It's funny because I had never considered growing a beard, and to be honest, my grandma hates my beard. She's not a facial hair guy, and I think about that, and it hurts me because I love my grandma.
But I think it must be the generation thing, because my grandparents, when I had my mustache, she never liked it. She'd always ask me what the hell that was on my.
Yeah.
So I think it must be a generation thing.
I think it is. I think you're right. I forgot what I was even talking about. Now all I can think about is my mustache. Oh yeah. Question. I mean, my beard and your mustache. Wow. Woo. Let's X-tag this and finish this talk.
Woo. I'm stroking as if I have a mustache there. Anymore.
All right. That's what I was saying. If you have questions, put them in the chat. If you want to ask me a question, if you want to ask my guest project a question, by all means, anything. Chaotic. That's right. Hey, Chaotic, you could find a lady with a beard. They're around.
Yeah,
if you're into beards, they're available.
Very available.
Love me some water. So anything that you want to, this is always a question I ask, and before, as we're getting questions from the audience, I kind of like to ask this towards the end. You've been streaming a while. You've been streaming for multiple years on multiple platforms. You're a global partner on DLive. So you've learned some stuff about streaming, right? You've learned some things that have helped, and you've also done some things that have probably hurt your streaming or being able to
100%.
stream, right? So please, if you would, tell us like the number one thing or things, if it's more than one, that is going to hurt you to be a successful streamer. And then I'd like you to end with the positive, which is things that are going to help you be a successful streamer.
Something that hurt me when I first kind of started was, and I'm slowly learning to be less like it now, is trying to be a perfectionist with everything. Because I had like kind of like a stream mentor last year, who's someone I met that grew relatively fairly big on Twitch over a couple of years. They basically said to me that they spent and I done it. I wanted everything to be so perfect from start to finish that I sometimes I wouldn't even post content or make content, and it hindered my opportunity. Critical. Exactly. So then it caused me to then not post any content at all, and it hindered my opportunity to become a voice and get out there and for people to see me. It's like when you make content, it's like making noise, social noise. So if you're being overly critical on yourself, like, oh, that overlay doesn't, the graphics for my images doesn't look right, or oh, that I need to do that video again, it doesn't fit right, or the audio isn't like, so post it. It's making noise. People are seeing your face out there doing what you want to do. Doesn't matter whether people watch it or not, but they see you out there doing what you want to do. So then when you do post some content that is top of the range, damn hot, they'll see it and be like, oh, this person's been consistent. They've done what they've said they're going to do. Post a video on YouTube once a week. Stream 3 times a week. Post clips on Twitch or Twitter every other day. Just do it.
Well, I want to say, you don't realize what's I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry.
No, carry on.
You don't realize the impact you're making, right? Like, I live on a lake, and it's beautiful. I watch the sunrise and the sunsets every day if there is one, right? Or if I can. But when there's a particularly nice one, I take a picture and I put it on my Instagram, and that shares it to Facebook for me automatically, right?
Yeah.
And I stopped doing that for a while. Not because I wasn't still looking at the sunsets, just because I was leaving my phone at the house to get away. I like getting away from my phone or all electronics, and I feel better, right? I feel more at peace. So, but what I didn't realize was there are people who can't do sunsets, right? They're in a hospital bed. They can't go outside. I've had one specific example. So you having this beautiful moment and then sharing it with the world, there are people who really need that moment and are desperately waiting for your next beautiful moment to share with them. And then you go weeks or a month without posting a sunset picture, and they're used to daily sunset pictures. That affects people. And I didn't know that. I had no idea there was that like echo to social media. So and I'm not saying if you want to stop streaming or stop posting, don't. Definitely do whatever's best for you. I'm just saying you're having a real impact on other human beings' lives when you post things on social media, when you live stream, when you're a content creator. So A, do it. It helps. But also B, try to be positive, because if you're negative and nasty, you're going to affect people in just as real of a way, but in a negative way instead of a positive way.
Well, that's it. It depends on what kind of community you want to yourself as well. Like, there are many communities based around trolling other people. And, you know, for some people, that's awesome for them. Yeah, let them do them. But for me as a person, I want my content community to be uplifting and positive and to help people, not to make people feel like they've got to ridicule other people to actually get by. It's not what it's about.
And
so
on DLive, we don't allow that. And that's part of the terms of service. That's not, there is no cyberbullying or hate speech allowed on this platform.
Exactly. And so one thing that I think, going back to your question of what would, pain a streamer in terms of their content creation, like, again, I don't have followers. I mean, but for me as a person,
you're touching your mic and you're cutting out.
I was trying to move closer, sorry. For one thing that I find, like, I mean, I don't have hundreds of thousands of followers, like, on DLive stuff, but one thing I do have is people around me that respect me for as the content I create, because I'm consistent with the type of content I create. And they know something's up when I have a bad day. Like Monday, for example, a bad stream, and you could tell because of how people were talking in chat. So again, it's about the image that you provide. I've had arguments with past because they're like, oh, well, you need to be real when you stream. Not everything's sunshine and rainbows. Not everything's sunshine and rainbows in life. I said, no, but what I remember is people watch streams, take to social media to get away from their negativity in their lives at that time, at that moment. So if all they're seeing is one of their favorite streamers posting negative comments about how shit things are, they're going to switch off from it. Or if they see somebody talking about how rough things have been with streaming, like, be real with people and say, yeah, all right, streaming's been tough recently. I can't, I haven't been able to upkeep things, but don't drone on about it and say it every single day. You've made your point. Now, how are you going to get up from that?
Right. Yeah. And it's okay to ask for help. I mean,
exactly.
I've logged on sometimes and been like, guys, I feel bad. I feel depressed. I feel weird. I don't understand why. I don't know if it's the weather, something I ate. I don't feel right. Let's do something fun. Let's cheer each other up. And then you take steps to get out of that. But you have to act. You have to ask. It doesn't just happen. You don't just feel like happiness is a lifestyle choice. It's not an accident.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I had a stream the last weekend. Was it the weekend just gone? It might have been the weekend just gone. And my stream title literally was "Cheer me up, I feel crap." And it wasn't because things were getting me so down. It was, I literally had a real shitty day and I wanted to hang out with people that genuinely care and that I care about. And I knew that with these people in the stream, everything aside, I didn't care about view numbers. I hide that stuff anyway. I use the D Live dashboard so I don't see the view numbers or the donation. And it literally was core of just me playing some games, hanging out with people in chat if they came by, saying hello or whatever, and just having a good time. And it turns out that literally all the people that come into the stream, like, it did cheer me up. Literally did. They came in, they were like, yo. And I'm like, yo, I'm actually feeling better. Like, every time someone asked me how I was doing, someone new came into stream and asked me how I was doing, I felt better. And then by the end of the day, I was like, actually, do you know what? I feel the mood that I'm in now compared to what I was at the start is completely flipped on its head. And so when I woke up Sunday and streamed on the Sunday, people were asking me that, oh, you feel it? I was like, oh, why? What was up yesterday? And it's like, it just completely changed everything. So today, life can be shit, but if you dwell on it, it's only going to get worse.
Well, I happen to be a philosopher, published author in the category of philosophy, not just like a philosopher, because I smoke some weed.
Instantly makes your philosopher level.
Yeah,
plus 10.
Totally, level 10. But I was going to say that this idea of that there's good or bad things that happen, I believe, is a misnomer. Things happen, not good or bad things, just things. Yeah. And it's your perception whether that thing is good or bad, right? I lost my job. That sucks. Actually, no, I've been meaning to quit. I'm starting my own company.
I'm now free.
Right? Those are completely separate thought patterns, right? And for the exact same instance. So I just want to say, as like a philosopher, like, obviously your best friend dies in a tragic car crash. That's right. We've talked about this. That sucks, right? Like, my heart goes out to you. And I don't mean to say something like that specific it just came out, but my point is there's a reason, right? Like, I believe people come and go from this. Like, people are only here as long as they need to be. And when you get it right, you're done. You can leave now. So
off the back of that, sorry to interrupt, but 2 weeks ago, I was streaming. I took a moment. It was when Fortnite were doing the black holes on the screen, all that stuff was kicking off. I was streaming that night, and my old man came in to let me know.
You're cutting out real bad.
My old man came into my room to let me know that my uncle that was suffering from lung cancer died. He received a phone call, and my uncle had died that night.
And that was just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Moments before that, literally moments before that, I had a chap come into my stream, Tommy Toughnut, who I've known a little while from Twitch, and he comes across the D Live, came into my stream. Him and his wife were in the hospital. She was giving birth. So from the time of Tommy Toughnut's leaving my stream saying goodbye, I'm going to help my wife give birth, moments later, my father's come into my room and told me that my uncle's passed away and died of cancer.
It's a cycle of life, man.
But and that's what I mean.
That's a lot that's a lot of information to process, and then turn the camera on and pretend to be something other than what you are in that moment, which would be emotional.
Oh yeah, literally, I sat in my chair and I was like, I don't really know what's going on. 1 minute I'm buzzing and excited because a friend that I've met online is about to have another child. So all of a sudden, like, my uncle's passed away, like someone that I've shared a lot of my life with, growing up with cousins, brothers to me, and it a lot changed. And so, yeah, it was very, very bizarre. And to be able to flip the camera around, I streamed for a few more hours because I thought, what, this will distract me, take my mind off it. And then it was a couple of days later where it set in. I was like, what, that's the 5th family member this year we've lost. And yeah, it's perception.
Right.
100% perception. It was either I sit there, dwell on it, and think this is horrible, or I just keep doing what I enjoy because it's going to change the lives of those around me, because I'm going to feel in myself, which means my emotions are going to reflect onto them, which is going to help them deal with this grieving a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and we're not trying to minimize someone passing away. That's obviously an emotional thing, and it's great to feel your emotions and be emotional. But also, you don't need to stay in a bad space, right? Like,
No.
when I was in the military and riding motorcycles kind of correlate at the same time, I was losing a lot of friends quickly on motorcycles and some stuff military. And you could just be depressed and sad all the time if you're going to be sad when something bad happens to someone else, right? Like you could be sad every day. And I think a lot of our news and media is that, keep you living in fear and sadness. Where what we realized in the military was, instead of being sad that this person is gone, share the positive memories you have of them and the good times and how they helped you and why they mean so much to you, right? Like, keep them alive and loving them in your heart and in your mind, because they're not gone if you're still talking about them, if you still love them and you still think about them. So, you keep try to stay in a positive light with your memories of them instead of thinking of the loss, because the only reason we have such incredible relationships, right, as humans, is because they're finite. I mean, that's what makes them special. But just to say, like, yes, this person has passed on of a disease. Some people would say they're in a better place now, or try to say something, right, to cheer you up like that. My understanding of it is, you're only here as long as you need to be. So yes, you're going to leave, and to everybody else that means you died, right? But to you and to your soul, you've been liberated from this physical form and the restrictions and limitations of the human body, and you can just live at peace as a spirit. I believe that's just my belief of it all. But anyway, this has been a very interesting talk, man. We've gotten pretty heavy,
Yeah.
But I think I think it's important though, right? Like, adults can have challenging conversations and they be beneficial to everybody listening. I think that's what we've been doing today.
100%. I just hope that everybody that have sort of watched, if you've got any questions about anything, like, but I think I can speak on behalf of Joe here as well. In both our DMs, to speak with anybody. If you've got any doubting questions, or if you want help with streaming or socials or anything like that, then yeah, my DMs always have been. Discord, Twitter, Instagram, I'm available. So
yeah, absolutely.
Give us a shout.
And Discord, I would recommend you guys use Discord if it's a D-Live thing, because we're right now, this conversation you're hearing, we're in a Discord video call, and I'm just doing a screen capture and sharing that in my overlay. So you can talk to D-Live has its own Discord channel. They have multiple, actually. Lino has their own channel. You can talk to the staff members, guardians, partners. There's always somebody available 24 hours a day. Somebody's online that you could talk to and get some help on Discord, right? So join, like, and if you put a lot of streamers use Tidy Labs for alerts, things like that. So if you put, like, for instance, for me, !Discord in chat, Tidy Labs is going to show you a link to my Discord channel. You can join that. You don't have to join a specific Discord channel, though, to talk to me. You can talk to anybody at the top of Discord, start a conversation. On the very top left, there's a little face. Click on the face. There's a search button there that will pop up. Type in anybody's name. You can start a conversation. You can start a phone call. You can start a video call, right? And for me, we were talking about branding, why it's so important. I'm author Joe Holt. You want to talk to me on Discord? Type in author Joe Holt and start talking. Is for project, is your name the same on Discord, or is it a little bit different?
It's the same on Discord, but social like Twitter, Instagram, it's different just because I couldn't clutch the project with a three
Right.
on its own. So
But
yeah,
in
it's project.
your about section, do you have links to all of that?
Yeah,
Okay.
everything's linked. Yeah. So if you go in my about section, you'll find all my socials and Discord. So
Somebody throw a link for me in chat with Project's channel. I mean, you could even do that if you want, Project, but
yeah, if you don't mind, I can do
by
that.
all means.
Yes.
So on D Live, guys, if you look under the screen here, there are a lot of tabs. There's a ton of useful information on every streamer's channel you go to. There's an about section. If you are a streamer, fill it out. If you're a viewer, fill it out. It doesn't matter if you're a streamer or not. Fill it out. If you come in my channel and you're awesome and we talk a lot, I'm going to go follow you even though you don't stream because I want to keep in contact with you, right? And I'm going to look in your about section. Maybe you're into airsoft. Maybe you're into paintball. Maybe you're, RC cars or something else other people are going to be able to relate to, and you're going to make more friends, that have common interest. And that's very powerful.
Very powerful.
All right, so guys, do you have any questions? Do you have specific questions for this fine man, Mr. Project? Do you mind if I ask your first name?
Yeah, it's James, dude.
James. Okay, so James, do you prefer Project? Do you care if people call you James?
I mean, Project's just the name now. It kind of is it. If someone shouts down the street Project, I turn around. So if someone shouts James, I turn around. It doesn't. Yeah, I'm easy either way.
If somebody shouts 3 not E, you turn around.
I literally do. I literally do because it's so ingrained. Because it's brand and I live and breathe it. It is what.
Can you use code Project in Holland and Barrett?
No, unfortunately not, because Holland and Barrett you buy the stock from Excite, so you can only use the code on.
Okay, so how about this?
The website.
Let me give you an idea. Go to Holland and Barrett directly and get them to use your code to buy from the company.
It did cross my mind. It did cross my mind, but obviously they have an exquisite deal.
Yeah, just tell them to mention you. You're like, hey, you've got this one guy. We really like him. Is there some way we could put up a picture, like a cardboard cutout full size of him in our store with that can?
Like this? Should we...
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yes, and if you could lift one leg like the captain from Captain Morgan when you're doing it. There you go. All right.
Da, 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 da.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
No, what's the whistly theme tune for? Is it?
No, we're not going to copyright.
What's the deodorant? No, the deodorant or the male antiperspirant. It's like red.
Oh.
Terry Crews was the face for it for a little while.
Old Spice?
Yes, that's it. Old Spice. Quick, someone play that tune. That's it. That's the one. That's it. Use code Project.
That's amazing.
That would work.
That's amazing. It's highly underrated. Streamers don't ever talk about how they smell.
Mate, honestly, it's
you
there you go,
know.
guys.
You wouldn't know.
Open market right there. Old Spice. Say to them, look, now's the time. Tap into esports.
That's amazing.
It's giving me an idea for sure.
Think outside the box, folks. Outside the box.
That's it.
Oh, man. It. Well, Project, I just want to say I really appreciate your candor. How open you've been about your life and your struggles, because honestly, you talking about it is going to help you and it's going to help other people. And not talking about it is going to hurt you and other people. You know what I mean? So it's such a powerful thing to have these conversations. As streamers, as social media consumers, like a lot of us struggle with feeling not good enough or sad or whatever it is, melancholy even, just whatever it is that we're struggling with. and supporting each other and loving on each other in real ways, in public ways, right? That's powerful. It makes a powerful statement about us, about you as a human, about D Live as a platform, about the community that we have built here. I mean, these are, I've interviewed ministers, doctors, like people, all the way down to what you would call the average person, right? And everybody in between. They found D Live. They found this like community that's loving and supportive, and it transcends just entertainment, right? Like we are providing entertainment. And some of my streams, I X tag my stream, turn on GTA, and cuss too much. Sometimes that happens, right? Like that's just that's just me having a fun time sometimes. It doesn't have to be heavy all the time, right? But if somebody needs to have that conversation, somebody comes into your chat and is struggling, we will help you. We will talk to you. Now, we can't derail the show in that very moment, but we're going to encourage you, and you can DM us. We'll definitely, talk to you and help you off stream. Try not to go in every single viewer streamer's channel and tell the same sad story just because you're trying to steal energy from people, right? That's not a correct way to do it. But if you need help and you need love, and we will help you. We will love on you. We will become your friends and family, because that's what we're doing here. Like in a real way, guys.
100%. 100%.
So would you like to say goodbye?
I kind of don't, if I'm honest. I'd love to just sit and chat all night, but I know why it's like 10 p.m. here, 10, so I'm going to look at winding the bed soon. But yeah, honestly, it's been nice talking about how it started. It's kind of reminded me again why I started streaming in the first place and
Nice.
the direction I'm heading in. So I thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Really, for inviting me onto the show and talking with you. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Author Joe Holt. I appreciate that very much. And again, yeah, guys, if anybody wants to talk about anything, then please just DMs, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, even on D Live. I kind of miss the chat function on D Live, what used to be here ages ago. Kind of miss the miniature Discord for each channel that was here pre PewDiePie. But yeah, always available. Give me a shout, and I'll try my best to do what I can to help.
That's awesome. All right, let me wrap up the show real quick, sir. If you don't mind just hanging out for me in Discord 1 second, I'll be right back with you. Okay, guys. Well, in case you didn't know, I'm author Joe Holt. I'm the one with the beard. This is my channel. I invite other D Live streamers onto my show. I call it Fireside Chats for very obvious reasons. And basically what we're trying to do is give you guys information about D Live, about Lino, about streaming, but also I'm trying to humanize streamers, right? We're not just this little tiny face in the corner of a box playing your favorite game. We're people with stories and lives and struggles, right? And triumphs, right? We're trying to share our lives with you in a way that's beneficial to us and to you. That's what I promote. People that have good energy, that try to love on the community, that are a positive member of this community. So if you're listening and you haven't been on the show and you want to be on the show and you're a D Live streamer, because that's the only caveat, you have to stream on D Live so we know who you are. DM me, send me a direct message on Discord, author Joe Holt, on Twitter, authorjoeholt.com. I have a contact page. Like literally anywhere, send me a message, say, hey, I'm awesome. How come I haven't been on your show yet? And I will get you on the show any day, any time that works for you. I'm retired. I work with all my guests no matter what. So just let me know that you'd like to be on the show. Now, also, if you enjoy these shows, there is every show that we've done from the very first one, it's on YouTube in its entirety. If you do exclamation mark YouTube in chat, which I will do for you, it gives you a YouTube link. That is the Fireside Chats playlist. That's all of them in their entirety. Mr. Project will be on that list in just a couple hours. So I will send him a link to the show in his Discord. He has my full permission to use it in any way that he wants. And if you guys have missed any of our show, you can watch the whole thing there at your leisure. And many, many more besides. It's been, let's see, March, April. I think maybe April 27th was the first show. March, so what is that? About 6 months we've been doing the show. I'm excited to see where Fireside Chats goes with D Live in the future. Going, Lino going to mainnet, getting our own IDA site token with lemons. It's amazing. So thank you guys very much for being here. I love you all, legitimately, in real ways, guys. I don't just say that as like a sign off. I do love you. I am sending you positive energy wherever you're in the world. And let's go spread that love, man. Let's go talk to some more D Live streamers. Let's get in their chat. Let's get up in there. Let's host somebody. Who do we need to love on? Let me check my list here. If you guys have somebody you'd like me to raid, because I'm always looking for new people. I do see a lot of the usual suspects, people that I really enjoy. But if you guys, I generally don't take suggestions because I always have so many folks I could host. But if you guys would like me to host someone particular, let me know. Otherwise, I think I'd like to host Uber. He was my guest yesterday on Fireside Chats. And so anytime I find a streamer and get them on the show, I like to keep supporting them. And he's been my last guest. So if you guys don't have any objections, I'd like to introduce you to another wonderful person. Looks like there aren't any objections. Fantastic. So let's go say hi to Uber, guys. Again, aloha for now. See you on the next Fireside Chat.